This week's episode of the Co-optional Podcast is proudly sponsored by Squarespace. Get 10% off your first order at squarespace.com/cooptional. Create your own professional-looking website with no prior knowledge required at squarespace.com/cooptional. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-optional Podcast for the 16th of Feb 2016. Dodger, you're blind! You're blind!
I can't believe I managed to drive here without my glasses. I can't.
You endangered thousands of lives today on America's roads.
And it seems like sweet baby Kyle is just not moving. Did he die?
That's actually his fault. That's not your glasses. His camera decided to basically take a giant dump on his face, and not in the fun, consensual way either. He's not in an okay state at the moment. If for some reason his camera starts working during the show, we will turn it on. For the time being, I have put in, I think, an appropriate picture that represents how he's feeling right now. So,
I'm sure. Yeah. It's what I deserve. I asked for this.
Well, I never asked for this.
Look, Kyle, you tried really hard to fix it.
I know. You tried
so
hard.
Many things.
You got so far.
So hard.
But at the end, it didn't even matter.
Poor Kyle.
Poor Kyle. Poor Kyle.
It's okay.
People claim my mic is popping like crazy. So it's
Doesn't that always happen at the beginning of a show?
Yeah,
isn't it like a consistent problem?
Yeah, it's a consistent problem with XSplit they haven't fixed in 6 years. I would have thought that by now they probably would have figured that out, but it will fix itself. It probably has fixed itself already, so who cares? It's all good. Which is annoying because, like, hey, guys, I got my EQ, I've got my noise gate on, I got my compressor sounding great, right? And then, of course, it's fucking XSplit's bullshit, so once the crackle goes away, it'll be just fine.
Dope.
I like your soundproofing you have in there.
Yeah, a bunch of Alex foam glued to a Chinese privacy screen, so it's all good.
Chinese privacy screen.
Yeah, I don't know what makes it Chinese specifically. Like, it just seems like a regular privacy screen to me.
I'm trying to think what we call those. What do we call those?
Actually, I'm saying privacy when I should be saying privacy, aren't I? Yeah. I'm going native if I'm not careful. What do you call those?
I'm trying to remember. We call them something screens, but not privacy screens.
Naked screens.
Oh, I can't remember.
Damn naked screens. Damn naked. That's my best American, and I know it's not very good.
A divider? Well, yeah, but that's not specifically the... Look, I'll figure it out.
Indeed. Welcome to the Co-optional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Our guest today is having innumerable technical problems. Welcome to Content Independence. Kyle Bosman of the recently deceased GameTrailers.com. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm feeling that. I'm definitely feeling stranded out on my own.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, of course.
I went to get my computer repaired this week.
Okay.
And the guy said, I can't fix this. I cannot permanently fix your computer. It is done, man. And so I just tried to jerry-rig a solution. It was the wrong idea. I ruin the show every time I'm on it. I'm so sorry, TV.
That's 2 in a row. I mean, wasn't the last one, 4 years ago and you ruined it then? Actually, it was 2 years ago and then you ruined it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh,
but
boy.
I mean, now we have to keep having you on and see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I swear I can do this.
What was that, Jesse?
Nothing, apparently, so I'm just gonna
You're way quieter than usual, Jesse.
Yeah, you're super
Can you up your
quiet.
mic?
You're so quiet, Jesse.
Yeah, you're half the volume you were in the sound check. So if you want to fix that, that'd be great.
half the volume.
I mean, I think you're fine now, but I
seems
can't tell
better.
because you're yelling. But
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong. Everything's fine over here.
you're half the volume you were in the sound check. So, yeah, if you could fix that, that would be just wonderful.
Maybe it's Skype. Maybe Skype is like, let me adjust this for you, buddy.
Probably.
I got you. Don't worry
I've
about
done
it.
nothing. I've changed nothing. I've done nothing.
Well, I mean, you doing nothing is definitely not unusual. But...
I haven't changed a fucking thing.
All right, well...
Look, it's fine.
No,
Everything's falling apart,
not,
but it's fine.
It's clearly
because we're
not fine.
friends. No, it's fine.
What's the point in even doing prep for this show when everything breaks as soon as we go live
As soon
anyway?
as the start, yeah.
I didn't fucking change nothing.
You sound a bit better now to me. I don't know if... Dodger, what, does he sound better to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, nothing will ever be quite like Xavier Woods.
No.
Nothing will ever be quite like thinking everything.
My microphone is broken. I'm going to communicate
better
via
now?
cue cards.
Badly.
Yes, so it sounds better now, yeah.
Is that better now?
Yes, it is,
Is that
yes.
okay?
Indeed.
Oh, you're sounding real good.
You weren't
I
half
like
the
your
man
voice.
you used to
With the
be.
jab.
You missed me. I was trying to find an award so I could go to Dodger's room and give her an award for that amazing acting at the beginning. But
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't find one, so
I mean...
you'll just have to know how good it was
Thanks.
in your soul.
I went to school for acting.
Yep.
There
I
you go,
actually did.
Dodger.
That's the sad
There's
part.
your trophy.
Ah,
Number one
number one.
Dad.
Number one dad.
1 pound dad.
Indeed. Oh, God. I can already tell that this show is going to be absolutely worthy of the Squarespace sponsorship that it has today. Squarespace.com/cooptional, bringing you the Co-optional podcast today. They give us lots of money to advertise their service. There will be an ad later on in the show that is even
Why
better
not?
than the last one.
Why not make a website devoted to how many times we goof?
Yeah,
On Squarespace.
absolutely.
A whole website. Or you could make a website about your number one dad.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It can either be number one dad or number one daddy. Like, it's really up to you how you want to take
Yeah.
that word.
Squarespace.com/cooptional
it.
gives you that option.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Creativity at your fingertips.
Indeed.
Huh.
Or make some sort of website with a flash game called Dodger's Glasses, where it's just like Dodger lost her glasses, help her find them, and there's a bunch of glasses, and it's her going like this, like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and you have to put the glasses on her, but avoid her flailing hands.
Oh my god, yeah, my hands are like constantly doing this, and you have to try and get the glasses and then slowly pull them toward your face. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
By
Sounds
only
good.
using the Q, W, E, and L keys.
It'll be a new cool.
Well,
Cool. Yeah.
Well.
How about if there's elements where like there are things you can pick up, but you don't know they're the glasses at first, and then when you bring them close to your face, you discover
that's
that
great.
that's not my glasses.
Oh, Kyle.
yeah, like sometimes it's a cat butt, and
Yes.
sometimes it's like,
Oh no, you
like,
brought a
oh,
cat
are these my
butthole straight to
glasses?
face.
yeah, and it's like 2 oranges for some reason. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
This is a good
No,
game.
it doesn't make any at all. What?
Are these
is a
my
great
glasses?
game.
And they're just oranges.
Are these my glasses? Oh no.
Yep.
I like.
Yep. And they all make cute, weird noises. Whenever you bring them close to your face, and it's not the glasses.
Just
So if it's
honk
a cat-
glasses.
If it's a cat, it like poos in your face, goes poot, like in your face. You go, like, these are my glasses. Poot.
You guys are awful.
Great game.
Genius, awfully genius.
Well.
Oh, God. Well, it's a Cooptional podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Coming on the show, we're talking about the games we've been playing this week, and then we'll advertise to you. Then we'll talk about more games we've been playing this week. Then we'll advertise to you. And then we will talk about the gaming news. Then we'll advertise our own channels, then advertise to you after we've left. That's the show.
We will. Yes, we will.
It mostly sounds like that. Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, I've got a ton of games that I've been playing this week, which is why I'm going to let one of you start. So, who wants to get into the ring first?
Kyle.
I've been
you
playing
need to
one game.
Hop in.
Uh-oh.
One game. All
What
right.
game?
Yeah, so we haven't talked about this yet, but I mean, it's probably public knowledge. I'm very unemployed right now.
Yes, unfortunately.
so-
Have you been playing the job game?
Yeah,
game of
well,
life?
yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah, exactly.
It's very boring. A lot of grinding. It's not very good.
Yeah. It's very low rewards. Anyway, Digimon Story Cybersleuth is all I've been playing.
Oh my god!
There's your problem.
Rock bottom.
I was gonna say you seem to have slipped into. Has the hard liquor started yet? I mean,
this is a good game.
Wait, like actually good?
Is it legitimately good, or are you being horribly sarcastic in a pit of despair?
No, because I am playing it. I'm definitely like, you can't ironically play a game for 40 hours. At some point, you're genuinely enjoying it.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
And I'm definitely hooked on it. I'm hooked on Digimon.
Okay, pitch me.
Okay, how can I pitch it to you? How can I help everybody understand what I like about
That's
this
a great
game?
question. Definitely a useful skill to have in your future career of doing that on video, though. So I feel that this is going to be the time. We're going to launch your brand new career right here, right now, and it's going to be entirely on the basis of how well you sell me on Digimon Story Cybersleuth. Yes. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
So, video games commonly have progressions for your characters, in this game, each party member is a Digimon. What I think is cool about having, I guess, individual Digimon that have individual progressions among them is like, Digimon digivolve. And every time you digivolve, you turn into something cooler, which is innately fun. So basically, you get a choice about what they digivolve into, their silhouettes. And I think there's another innate fun in wanting to know what Digimon is behind that silhouette. There's it's rolling the dice. Sometimes it's something cool.
Are you saying, who's that Digimon?
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes
Digimon!
It's a poop. Sometimes that Digimon you would digivolve into a poop.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not a fun thing to do.
It is, though. Yeah, because that roll of the dice is I could get a poop, I could get a Greymon. You know what I mean? You don't really know what's going to come out of that, and I like that.
I recognize at least 2 of these Digimon, because I used to own an original Digimon. I was one of the cool kids. I didn't own a Tamagotchi, because I wasn't a fucking pussy!
So did you battle them?
Damn.
Yeah, we battled them. Did you know, Digimon facts, you probably do. You're probably like a Digimon expert, and I'm just telling you the most obvious thing. You did not have to keep them connected while you battled. You only had to connect them, and then it determined the battle when it did that, and the battle would play out even if you disconnected the Digimon right after that fact.
I didn't know that, and to be honest, it bums me out.
It actually did, yeah. When we found that out, we were like, because we used to believe that by hammering on certain buttons would give our Digimon a better chance. Mm-hmm. Nope. It's like wrestling. It's predetermined. The results are already known. As soon as you plug them in, it was still real to me, damn it.
So you've been scorned by Digimon. That's
I have.
Apprehension with it.
Indeed. I have genuinely been burned in the past by Digimon's lies. So you're going to have to try extra hard to pitch this game to me now.
Oh, it's a turn-based RPG, It's just it's just an hours-long turn-based RPG.
She is a lot sexier than I remember from Digimon.
Oh, they're all new characters.
I mean, she's not wearing any underwear from what I could tell, but...
And
why is that so funny to me?
I don't know.
We can actually see her now. We can see her now. She's on there.
That's so
There's
effing
boobies
funny.
hanging out and everything.
That's what's weird is some of the Digimon evolve into sexy ladies. They just turn into sexy ladies.
Like Angelomon?
Yeah.
Angelomon was always the hotness.
That's so bizarre to me that okay, now I'm a tall sexy woman now.
Japan. What else do you need to know?
I can't
always.
I like the assumption that if you take a small, cute animal pet and you just give it enough love, one day it'll become a sexy lady.
It'll turn into a hot lady.
Yeah. It's a dream. It's like a wonderful dream.
It could
happen. You know what? If I just give it enough love.
Man, I wonder
and experience points.
I wonder if they purposefully... I guess it would make sense. If they purposefully put this out right at the same time that Digimon Tri, that the new Digimon anime came out.
Yeah, it's an anniversary. I think it might be 20th. I'm not positive. They're having some anniversary right now.
Okay. The anime that came out is takes all of the characters from the original Digimon anime and ages them up, and they all go back into the Digimon world. But I don't know how it's been doing. I don't think that it's done super well because they kept putting it off, and now everybody's like, "Oh, is that out?"
I can tell you, I watched it. I watched that Digimon Tri. It's kind of cool because it starts off where they're just depressed teenagers because they don't have Digimon anymore. And it's something I can absolutely relate to. It's imagine having a Digimon in your childhood and then you don't have access to that Digimon anymore and you're just living a normal life. That sucks. And that's basically where the anime starts off. Yeah.
So you mentioned it was a turn-based battle RPG of some sort. So Is it turn-based in the sense that it's tiles that you move around? Is it like an SRPG, like Fire Emblem, or is it just a straight-up, like, this is my team, this is your team, we're now fighting in a kind of active time battle system? How does it all work?
It is exactly the last thing you just described.
Right.
Imagine the least amount of strategy possible. There are buffs and debuffs, but
You're
you should
not
never
selling
use
me
them.
that on this game yet, but okay.
You should always use your strongest attack. there's
Great.
very little.
That sounds really engaging.
There is very little strategy to this game.
Now I'm absolutely convinced that you're in a pit of despair.
Yeah.
So what?
Oh, yes,
wait,
it is perfect unemployment game.
Yeah. So like, what about this game then has grabbed you, Kyle?
It's the digivolving. It's like there
Okay.
are 240 Digimon in the game, and like they progress. Each of them, like this little glob that you have, eventually becomes something awesome. And it's like that nurturing, that progression of getting experience points, leveling them up, getting them to like, oh, it's so complicated. There's so many dumb things like the Digimon farm and making sure that the right leader is in charge of the Digimon farm, and then giving them items that reduce their stats so that they can evolve into a sexy lady. It is crazy. This game
So
is
giving
like
them
crazy
items that
complex.
reduce their stats. That's
Yeah.
completely non-intuitive.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's non-intuitive. There's little to like about the story. I guess sometimes it's kind of cool. It dips into like Japanese mythology. That's kind of interesting, but for the most part is dumb. Yeah, man, it's all about those Digimon.
Sterling endorsement there on this game.
I mean, it's called Cybersleuth. Is there any sleuthing, Kyle?
There's a lot of sleuthing. Yeah, you are the protagonist is the cyber sleuth.
Of course, I mean, obviously.
Naturally.
Yeah. So you'll go to the scene, you'll investigate, you'll collect some clues, and then your Digimon get involved.
I did like the Supreme Cannon that I just saw on the screen right there. That was a Supreme-looking cannon.
Oh, I'll wait for it.
I'm not sold, though. I'm going to be honest. This sounds like a waste of time, which, to be fair, sounds like the perfect game for unemployment.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be the right game for you, to be honest. But, if you're into Digimon, if you're into just weird monsters that become cool things, that's the game.
There you go.
All right. I mean, for quite a few people, that's probably entirely fine. I mean, that's why they play Pokemon, right?
No.
Shit,
Pokemon completely
level it
different.
up.
It's a very, very different thing.
But really?
Yeah, I could dig into the differences. Very, very different. Very different franchises.
All right. Let's do some digging. What are the differences?
Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. So Pokemon...
I called you on your
Kyle.
shit. Come on.
Do it, Kyle.
So what's weird in Digimon is you don't become too dedicated to any individual Digimon. In Pokemon, you become so dedicated to your individual Pokemon. They have like individual stats and things that make them, that is the only one version of that Pokemon, and you care about that Pokemon like it's a thing. And it is the thing. That data is actually like unique to that Pokemon.
Right.
So
That's
I
the
think
whole like breeding aspect of the Pokemon franchise and how much people care about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. And so I like to, personally, with Pokemon, my individual Pokemon are my friends. They're my team, and I care about them so much. In Digimon, I don't know. I just want the cool one. But in Pokemon, like, I care about these dudes. And we go through an adventure together. In Digimon, I got to be honest, like, the actual, like, your party doesn't even matter. No one even acknowledges who is in your party or anything. It's kind of a whole separate thing to the story. Pokemon, that's a 10 out of 10 game.
Interesting.
Digimon is a...
It's a 7 out of 10. It's a great 7 out of 10.
I'm a little worried for you.
Please. Yeah.
I've got to be honest.
Send help now. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, I feel like I need to offer you a job just to save you from yourself at this point. Because I have a feeling your next game is going to be even worse. You're going to descend into that pit of agony. And you're going to start playing you're going to start playing that Star Wars game on mobile with me. You're going to come into my special hell.
Why would you do that?
Oh, yeah. I know some friends who got into it, actually.
Oh, my God.
What's it called?
I shouldn't.
Don't tell him.
No.
Don't tell him.
No. I think you're in a vulnerable place right now, a dark place, and I feel that I should not be giving you rope by which to hang yourself.
Can I tell you one thing that's a big turnoff of that Star Wars game? And this might be crazy.
I can tell you 1,000 things, but by all means, feel free. I'd love to hear your perspective.
It's that the battles in the game are like simulated. So if you do get Rey on your team, that's not actually Rey. It's like a hologram of Rey. That's a turnoff.
See, yeah, because you can't get the real Rey in your fake video game, that's a turnoff.
Not even a real Jawa. It's not even a real Jawa.
It's a holographic Jawa. Yeah.
I don't want that.
Okay, no holographic Jawas. Fuck holographic Jawas, as it turns out. But there's also 1,000 other reasons to hate that fucking game. But they just added Yoda! And everyone can actually get him, except they fucking can't. They can get a weaker version of him. Oh my god. Here's the latest bullshit from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, because the bullshit just keeps piling up. So it's like, we're gonna give you a free character, and it's gonna be Yoda, and it's gonna be awesome. And people are like, wow, you're giving us a free character? That is really fucking generous of you.
Generous?
What's the catch? So here's the catch, right? They put it in the game as an event. In order to get your Yoda, you need a team of 5 Jedi. And your team of 5 Jedi either have to be 3-star Jedi or 4-star Jedi. Now, if you're a free-to-play player, you probably have 1 or 2 Jedi because you kind of start with them. Getting a party of 5 Jedi, that can be quite tricky. Getting a party of 5 fucking Jedi with more and more and more stats to get the higher level Yoda, almost impossible. I have spent an inordinate amount of money on the stupid fucking game because I am a gambling addict. It is terrible. I can't even get 6-star Yoda because I don't have 5 6-star Jedi. I have 4 6-star Jedi, and I'm trying to fucking level up Waste Mindu. Wow, who the fuck is that? That's the Chinese version.
That's the garbage pail kid.
Yeah.
Waste Mindu.
Waste Mindu. Waste Mindu with his partner Buchaka. Here, right here. Yep. Buchaka sounds like a really bad rap act, I'm gonna be honest.
Buchaka?
Buchaka here to throw down. Yeah.
Sounds like something they would say on Big Bang Theory. Buchaka!
Buchaka.
Get it? It's hilarious.
Buchaka!
Yeah.
And then they'll put it on a shirt.
Yeah, and it'll be part of the Cones of Dunshire and all that bullshit. Anyway.
Who is your team? What Jedi are on your team?
So my Jedi team, which is the one I use regularly to run so there's a daily event called the Galactic War, which is this giant, stupid fucking thing where you've got to beat, like, 12 teams in a survival thing, and it's the best way to earn, like, in-game currency and stuff in that game. So my survival
is it
team...
automated?
No. It randomly picks people's PvP teams and puts them in progressively more difficult battles with you. If a character dies and you don't reset the battle, that character is gone for the rest of the day. So, basically, those that have more characters have a legitimate advantage over those that don't. So, as I said, the game is completely fucking pay to win. Anyway... My team is led by Barriss O'Free, who is apparently from the Clone Wars animation. She gives a buff to all Jedi. They give her like 15% maximum health and a 4% heal every turn. So, if you don't want you guys to die, that's pretty good. I have Qui-Gon Jinn, who is
great.
He's the speed guy. He's pretty fast. He has an attack where he'll bring another Jedi in to help him out, which evidently didn't fucking help him against goddamn Darth Maul Choppy guy.
Huh?
Yes.
Because he died.
Yes.
Spoilers, he's dead.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, apparently she was in episode 3 as well. I guess she got killed in Order 66 or something.
Ooh, what?
So people are claiming she was in episode 3, Barriss O'Free. But
Didn't she hold on, pause. Didn't she become evil in the Clone Wars
I believe
franchise?
she did, yeah. I think she did.
She definitely wasn't in episode 3. There was another
I don't remember her
one.
being in episode 3. I think they're thinking of the Twi'lek, the blue Twi'lek.
Barriss O'Free is the green-skinned woman with tattoos on her face, and she has a black robe. And in the Clone Wars,
she's a knight. Isn't she a night sister? Or was she not a night sister?
No. She I think she's she realizes that there's something wrong, and then she goes not Sith but Dark Jedi. Basically.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So
I think you might be
Qui-Gon.
thinking about her apprentice.
Yeah, you might.
With the diamonds on her face. Yeah.
They both have diamonds on their face.
Yeah, but it's the apprentice who went evil.
It don't fucking matter. They're all dead now. No one cares.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I'm pretty sure it doesn't fucking matter.
So I have who's the main character from Star Wars Rebels? Because I don't watch the cartoons. She's the Twi'lek with the 2 lightsabers. Begins with an A.
First off, no. That's Cham Syndulla's daughter, who is the main Twi'lek character.
What?
And Cham Syndulla was the leader of the rebellion on Ryloth, which is the Twi'lek homeworld.
Whoa.
And
none of this is relevant. What's her fucking name?
I don't know, fucking Syndulla.
You are shit at Star Wars.
Miss Syndulla is.
I run a show every week that talks about Star Wars.
Yes,
I don't know the name of the
on.
main character in the only active Star Wars series currently.
Hera is her name.
Her name is
Asuka.
No, her name is Asuka Tano.
You really don't want to do the dishes, so you clean the rest of the kitchen.
Species. That's not the same. Ahsoka Tano is not the same species as a Twi'lek. Get out of town.
She looks like a Twi'lek. Are you sure she's not a Twi'lek?
She's not. She's not a Twi'lek. Also,
she's actually a Tugratu, apparently. A Tugrata.
Yeah. And she's
okay,
Luke
she's not a
Skywalker's
Twi'lek.
apprentice.
All right,
oh
fair.
my god.
All right.
And he called her Snips, and then he goes Snips. It's the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah, but Asuka Tano is in Rebels. So apparently she was one of the main characters in Clone Wars. She's also one of the main characters in Rebels. I don't know.
You know what, Dodger?
We're basically like
it's
both
Star Wars
wrong.
Time, all right?
I love
it's
this.
Star
I'm
Wars
loving
time.
We're ruining it.
It's
Anyway,
Star Wars time.
it's going to take me forever to get through this list because there's only 5 in this list. We're already at number 3. So I have Asuka Tano.
Great.
She
Great
heals
Jedi.
herself on pretty much every hit, and she's got a attack every 3 turns that has a chance to heal everybody in the party, so she's pretty good. I have, oh god, what's her name? Luminara, or whatever her name is.
I've never had more fun in this podcast.
I know. Yeah. Luminara Unduli. I have her.
What?
Luminara Unduli.
Who the fuck is that?
Again,
it's the apprentice of Ophi. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
I never knew her
who's
name.
my last Jedi? Because there's, 2 healers. Oh, yeah, Yoda. Yoda is my last Jedi.
Oh, you have weak,
got this other one.
weak Yoda.
I have a 5-star Yoda. 5-star Yoda was good enough.
5-star Yoda?
Yeah, I'm working towards my 6-star Yoda.
That's the one that does flips and shit.
In fact, they all do flips and shit. But 5-star Yoda does flip slightly harder than 4-star Yoda.
Yeah, I imagine.
Because stats are really interesting. Yeah, so that's my Jedi team. And I have a few other Jedi, like Mace Windu, but until the last pass, Mace Windu was fucking shit. They have now changed him. But so he is
I'm
better.
sorry. Chad has corrected me. It's the other way around. That's how much I give a fuck about the prequels.
There you go.
I don't.
Apparently, none of us know
what's
anything.
What's the other way around?
None of us know anything.
Here's all you need to know. In the future,
Luminar is the master and the barrister is the apprentice.
Crazy hat woman is the master of woman in hood. That's all I need to know.
And
So when you see them
Luminar
together-
is crazy hat woman.
Yeah. Crazy hat woman with green skin, master of hooded.
Basically, we have now
woman.
concluded that Jesse is a big fat phony.
You know what? You got me. You got me. Ah, fuck. I guess I can't go to Star Wars Con 2016 now.
Oh no!
Here's the twist: you are a Star Wars con.
Oh!
That was a good one.
You are as clumsy and random as a blaster.
Nailed me.
That was an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. Show you that.
Yup.
Oh my, yeah. That game fucking sucks. Don't play Star Wars Galaxy of fucking Heroes.
Was that a baby crying? What was that one?
I don't even know what that was.
That's me. On this app, it lets you record your own sound. So instead of making a normal sound, I just made myself going boing, 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 boing.
Joshua, will you do that again so everyone can hear it?
You are. What? This is the shit you do on your working day?
Yes, this took me an entire day to record.
Oh my god.
A whole day, TB. A whole day I spent on this.
Kyle, this is what you have to look forward to in the independence of content production. Stop! That's now really annoying. Please stop.
You mean?
It's called Hamhorn.
Hamhorn. I'm in.
Oh my god. You idiots.
That's an instant buy. Jesse, that was perfect too, dude.
Oh, I'm gonna kill myself.
Even Wilhelm's on there. There's a sound file called Uncle Nick.
I'm looking for a firearm. I can't find one. Jesus. Yeah, but don't play Galaxy of Heroes. It's terrible. It's like one of the worst examples of squad battle RPGs that exist. It is pay to win as fuck. I'm in an abusive relationship with that stupid game. Hate it. Thankfully, there is a game that has supplanted it and isn't bullshit on mobile. Can I tell you about it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It is called Clash Royale. It is by the developers of Clash of Clans.
I was about to ask! Go on.
Yes. It is fucking great. So this game is not officially out until March. It's soft launched in New Zealand and Canada, so you can play it if you have.
What game is this?
Clash Royale is the name of it.
Clash Royale.
Royale, like the burger. Clash Royale.
Like the Bond movie.
Maybe. So I actually decided to stream this because I was like, I love this game so much. I'm gonna fucking stream this because surely nobody can complain about me playing a mobile game.
Surely.
That will never happen. Anyway, so I decided to stream it. Actually, I had a great time streaming it. We also did a little bit of casting of it because it has a replay system of the top level guys. And apparently, Hong Kong already has esports organizations playing this game because mobile games over there much bigger, especially like in the esports scene. People actually play this stuff. They have, yeah, they do. They play like mobile games as esports and things like that. Clash Royale
just came out.
Yeah, they're already on
not
board.
Even out.
They think it's going to be the next big thing, and I think they might be right, because this game is really fucking fun. So the whole idea, it's not original at all. It's basically ripped off Warcraft 3 mods for the most part. So the idea is
definitely did.
Absolutely. So it's kind of like a mixture of Dota, Kingdom Rush, and Hearthstone. So you have a deck of 8 cards. These cards represent units and spells, and they each have an elixir cost. Your elixir gradually goes up through the game, and you spend your elixir by summoning something from that card. So you either put down, like, I'm going to skip forward to some gameplay here because this is me unboxing shit, which is not in any way interesting. There we go. So I'm going to switch some gameplay. That's time left. Let's, there we go. No, there we go. Cool. So you can see on the screen right now. Sorry about it being vertical. You have to play the game in vertical, which is really fucking annoying, but it's the way the game's designed. Anyway, so you get 4 cards at the bottom of the screen. The purple bar is your elixir. You spend the elixir to summon cards. The elixir is replenished in real time. There are 2 lanes, and there are 3 towers. Each tower represents a crown. When a tower is destroyed, you take the crown from that tower, and you can also spawn units where that tower used to be. So you can spawn it on your opponent's side of the map. The aim of the game is by the timer running out, you either have more crowns than your opponent, or you have destroyed the opponent's middle tower, which is their king tower. And you do that, like I said, by spawning units and casting spells. Really, really simple. Super fucking fun. Really strategic. Like, the deck building aspect is really important because you're trying to figure out, look, what is the best combination of cards I can make? And obviously, you're also thinking, well, I need this card maybe in 30 seconds, so I need to maybe spend some cards now so I can draw my next card, because you can only have 4 out at any given time. It's really fast, furious. Like, it's got some pretty cool precision moves you can pull. Timing is super important, and it's ideal for touch. It's really fun. Like, they're 3-minute battles for the most part, and they're super satisfying to play. And often they come really right down to the wire. They're actually fun to watch, unbelievably. You know, you wouldn't think they would be, but they are. So
you're playing against people live?
Yeah, you play them live. It's real multiplayer. Like, almost, as far as I can tell, pretty much lag-free. It's kind of rare for mobile. Like, a lot of them do this whole asynchronous multiplayer thing. Like, fucking Galaxy of Heroes, the PvP is just you fighting against someone else's team controlled by AI, you know?
Like Digimon.
Is that how it works? Yeah.
No, I mean, you're
oh,
Digimon,
yeah, of course.
like
yeah, very
Digivice.
similar, where you're not actually fighting. Yeah. This is full-on PvP. Full-on real-time PvP. It takes like 3 seconds to get a game, and the game isn't even out in the US yet. So I think this game is going to be super popular.
When is it going to release?
March. Full launch in March.
Can you give us an example of when timing matters? Like,
so basically, the timing of the spawns is really important because you don't directly control the units. The units automatically head towards the nearest unit or the nearest building. So let's say right now you're seeing on the screen, there's that giant fucking skeleton on the right-hand side that was running towards that tower. The enemy just spawned something in front of it to stop it. So there's a lot of timing involved in that, and also positioning. So if I spawn a cannon at the maximum range that a cannon can be, and it starts shooting at an enemy unit, that enemy unit's probably going to divert itself from attacking my tower, but from walking towards my tower, to walking towards the cannon. And it's taking fire as it does that. So the timing of placing the buildings and where you place them, as well as the timing of placing down units, is super important. So let's say the opponent throws a giant at you. Giants are siege units. Their priority is buildings. So they'll knock buildings down. They don't attack units. So what you want to do is you want to save a card like Army of the Dead, which summons 20 little skeletons, to drop right fucking on top of it as soon as it gets into your zone, so you can kill it before it reaches your tower. Yeah, that's a very basic example of the timing. But there's some more advanced stuff you can do with combos and all that sort of thing. And obviously, you're trying to respond to what your opponent's doing as well, because you want to spawn the right unit, you know? You don't want to spawn a fucking flying unit if your opponent has 10 archers on the ground, you know?
Right.
So it's really awesome. The free-to-play model is based on patience for the most part. So every time you win a battle, you get a chest. That chest contains cards, and it's free. But you got to wait to open it. It takes 3 hours to open a silver chest, 8 hours to open a gold, and 12 to open a magical. And, you know, drop rates are you always get a silver, you sometimes get a gold, you rarely get a magical. And they all have more cards in them. Of course, you can just buy the chests if you like, but you can get the chests free, and you can store up to 4 of the battle chests, and there's 2 free chests. You get a free chest every 24 hours that opens instantly, and then every time you win, you get a chest that takes a certain number of hours to unlock. Of course, you can spend premium currency to rush that. But you're matched up against people that are hopefully of the same power level as you, so, like, the game is not, in essence, pay to win, except at the highest possible level. Because in theory, if you spent a bunch of money, because you can upgrade your cards and units in that game, you could have a unit that's statistically superior to your opponent, and at the highest possible level, you could be fighting them, and you have an actual statistical edge because you had more cards than him. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So that, if there's pay to win, it only really exists at that top tier, because otherwise you're match made against people with the same power level as you.
Interesting.
Yeah, so for the vast majority of people, that doesn't matter. But if they want any kind of esports at all, they're going to have to unlock the esports accounts to have every card at maximum level, because otherwise it'll be unfair. So, otherwise, I think the business model's pretty good. It's not that exploitative. And I admit, it got me. It's I'm not patient enough. I'm gonna spend the fun bucks to open the fucking box, because I love opening the box. I want to see what's in it, you know. But it's a really fun game. It's awesome. I actually hope they bring it to PC, because it would work totally fine on PC too. It's really fun. It's fun in the way Hearthstone is fun. It's it's a quick blast of entertainment, but it's a lot faster than Hearthstone is, because it's in real time. So,
right.
Yeah, Clash Royale. As I said, it's out next month on iOS and Android. So, in theory, I think you could even play it on PC, because there's an Android emulator for PC, right? I think there is. I don't know if you could play a multiplayer game with that, but yeah. I love the game. It's really fun.
Cool. I would like to say an apology to Blizzard, because last week, last week, you guys were talking about Overwatch, and I hadn't played it yet. And I asked what the new game mode was.
I'm sorry to interrupt. When did this happen?
Oh, it was last week.
Oh, really? Last week? Okay.
Yes, last week. Yeah, on last week's show on Tuesday of last week.
What?
We were discussing Overwatch. I hadn't played it yet. I asked you what the new game mode was. You said that yes.
You said you wanted a new game mode. You said, I wish there were new game modes.
No, I didn't know what the new game mode was yet.
I don't remember what happened last week.
And you guys,
when was this?
You guys said
what?
This was last week. Last Tuesday. What? Yeah. I was told that it was King of the Hill, and I said, God, that's boring. Why can't they think of something else? I would like to retract that now that I've played it and say that I think King of the Hill is very fun.
I would like to say King of the Hill has some of those bullshit mechanics. Oh my God. I have played at this point a total of, in the last week or so, I'm going to say 11 King of the Hill games. Out of those 11 games, 9 of them have featured the following. This is 9 of those 11 games.
I was in most of them. He's not lying.
My team nails, because it does it by rounds. Instead of the normal, we're going to push one, then next time we defend, it's simply best of 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's rounds. So round 1, 100% like that, total domination.
Yeah.
Round 2, 99%.
99%.
Suddenly, the other team manages to keep overtime going for
a
ludicrous amount of time.
Ludicrous, you say?
Not the rapper. A ridiculous, insane amount of time. Comes back, wins 199. Then the next game, they dominate and win. That has happened to me 9 times out of 11.
Yeah.
It's unfathomable.
It's horrible.
That they can keep overtime going for, I swear to God, there are videos
basically
that exist there of 5-minute overtime.
Yeah, because
the
thing is, this was a problem. They actually did a little ESL Cup in the last beta, with the top teams, And what they discovered at the high level is that the whole idea of overtime renewal is a big problem in Overwatch. Is even with the push mode. But the problem is in the King of the Hill mode, it's an even bigger problem. As long as you get on the point before the overtime thing goes away, it resets. So you can keep just kind of tagging the point over and over and over again. And there are certain heroes that are really fucking good at it, like Mei, for instance, because of her ice wall. And obviously Resurrection comes as a big part of that. You know, you want a Mercy on your team if you're playing that game mode without question. And it's really annoying for, like, the team that obviously dominated the entire fucking game. I don't know. I think Blizzard's going to leave it in because Blizzard just loves their fucking comebacks. I mean, you're a Heroes player, Jesse. You know how it rubber bands, you know?
That's not a rubber band, though. That's bullshit.
No, I agree. It is bullshit, but I think that Blizzard's line of thinking, and I'm, of course, like, you know, putting words in their mouth, but I think their line of thinking is comebacks are exciting, so we're going to let, overtime is going to be our comeback mechanic. The thing is, like, it's really similar to the way the TF2 does it. And I don't recall having as much of a problem with it as I did in TF2. But I've never had an overtime that long in TF2. Like, it almost seems like it.
I don't think it resets. I think that it's like you have one shot at an overtime.
Right.
And then
I wonder if chat can confirm that, because I haven't played TF2 in years. I don't recall ever having a problem with the overtime in TF2, but in Overwatch, I have a serious problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even describe to you. And I learned that literally having two... I played a team. I don't know that you'll ever see the video because I've never been more mad in my life. Maybe Krendor uploaded it. But I honestly, I'm not joking. I honestly was like, all right, I know you're probably in the media, so you're probably in LA. I want to street fight you. Like other people on the other team, I physically want to meet you and fight you because I hate you so much. Oh my God. I can't handle there's so much BS cheese that you can do in King of the Hill that it's like unfathomable. Like I saw you guys do a double Mei Genji Bastion strategy, which was literally like constantly block off two entrances, forcing them to come in another way, and then they were just sniped. Or cut down the things, and then Bastion would just shoot. It was like, I can't fucking handle this right now.
Well, I mean, that's team play, but King of the Hill seems like the most exploit. It's like it's the most exploit heavy mode. It's the cheesiest mode, definitely by far.
Oh yeah. Like they would like slingshot. I don't even talk about it. It's so frustrating. All I will say is that.
What do you like about it?
What do you like about the game mode? Oh, okay, that's why you like the game mode.
So,
yeah, okay.
I fucking love it because I stand off to the side. I'm just like boof, 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 and then I kill everybody that's in there, and then I just trot in. Like, cool, did it.
Yeah, I can. As a Junkrat player, you would love that because people like to hang around the point. It's usually indoors. You just fill it with grenades and rack the kills up.
Yep, that's literally what I do. Yeah, I haven't noticed a difference in Junkrat, really. I know that a lot of characters got balanced, and everybody was like, oh, Junkrat's definitely gonna get nerfed a bit. I haven't noticed any difference in him at all.
I don't think they've nerfed him, from what I know of. He seems totally fine. He almost seems better. Like, or maybe I'm just better.
Tracer got nerfed a bit, right?
Tracer's garbage. Tracer is so... All right, so for real, as a person who loves Tracer because she can, like, move around and, like, shoot shit...
I mean, she can still do that.
Her weapons do, like, a little bit more damage, but she is so effing squishy now comparatively that... So
did they just nerf her HP or what? I mean, she was already just squishy character.
She still has 150, but for some reason, like, I consistently get one shot. No. I never... Before, you could get hit and then get out. Now, I've consistently seen her be just one shot by everything. Like...
That seems like a meta shift, though. Like, have they actually nerfed her?
I mean, I don't think that they've nerfed her as a character.
Because I just looked at Tracer nerf and there's no results. They haven't changed her at all.
I'm saying, but the changes to other characters make her ineffective.
Yeah, so in other words, the meta has shifted.
Yes, the only time she's good is in situations where you are going to just completely avoid the enemy and go behind them. And like, so a really great example is on Numbani, which is like the African map. When assholes literally come to the front of the entrance of when you're on attacker, and they're just like, we're right in front of you. All you do is you go Tracer and then push them back to the cap point because they have to fall back to defend it. Like, she's good at that shit. She's really, really good
she was always good at that shit. That was that's the entire point of the character.
But now it's like, that is legit all she can do. Now they've added Mei and Genji and D.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think it's because of those 3 characters? Because all 3 of those characters shut her down pretty hard, right?
Yeah, she has a lot of just like I can't even describe to you how many times I've been one shot by a Genji. 3 throwing stars. It doesn't even matter where it fucking hits you on your body. You're dead. Like, it's just she has really low life. I don't know.
Everybody's been saying that Genji is super broken right now, too.
He's real
he already
He's
felt
very powerful.
broken to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't change him, I don't think, but he was really strong when they first brought him in the first place. So it's just people have got. He's a high skill cap character, so as people have got better at him, it's become abundantly clear how good he is. And right. I think like that's again, it's like that's the same thing with Tracer. You know, it's something of it's a metagame shift more so than anything else. It's not like they've buffed all the other characters. It's just that she's. You know, with the addition of those 3 that all shut her down really hard, it's harder to play a good Tracer right now. But also, apparently in the recent Gosu Gamers tournament, she was being used a fair bit, and she's still effective at high level.
Real truth, mass facts. Hanzo is a much better sniper than Widowmaker. Infinitely better. Hands down better. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, she can fire indirect. He can fire indirect. He can fire without zoom. He can fire quicker. His ultimate is arguably better. He's got more utility.
So what is her fucking role in this game? If Hanzo
she's a lower skill cap sniper. Like, I can play a really good fucking Widowmaker, but I'm a shitty Hanzo.
I wanna have like a low skill cap, like learn to snipe school, because 90% of Widowmakers are like, I fired, and the shot's like way off on the side. Like, what are you doing?
I'm a decent Widowmaker now, and I ruin people's lives with her. Like, especially if you've got really good positioning. I'll also say that her ultimate is very, very fucking good. It's even better if you have a Hanzo on your team as well, if you're playing defensively. Because the Hanzo can lead the shots with his travel time, because he sees them coming around the corner thanks to your visor, and they just get an arrow in the face as soon as they go around the corner. You know, she is really strong like that. And as I said, she's a lower skill cap character. I'm headshotting fools in the air. I'm headshotting fools on the ground. I'm headshotting fools in the sea. Like the fucking ocean. They're under the water. I'm getting them anyway. She's great. Kyle, have you played Overwatch at all, by the way?
I've played 0 Overwatch.
Are you excited for it in any way?
I don't know, man. My computer's dead.
Yeah, apparently it is. Yeah, so maybe that needs to be our first. Do we need to set up a Patreon right now for you to get a new PC?
Just to get a PC.
I mean, that's not unreasonable.
A very short-term Patreon. Yeah.
It was definitely around the office. Everyone loves this game. They were crazy about it. The other guys at Game Trailers, they freaked out about it constantly.
Yeah. Understandable.
It's wonderful. You know who they should freak about? They should freak out about Mei, because Mei is the best character in the game, and she just wants to save the world, and she's little cute Asian girl. Get out of my
junk butt, best girl.
Mei,
how's
best
the gorilla?
Girl.
I like the gorilla with glasses.
Winston's my main. Yep,
Winston's great.
He's my main. I love him. I am pretty good with him. I feel that's a character all about positioning and disruption. You know, you got to throw your shield down in exactly the right place so that their current position means they are either firing from outside the shield or they get inside it and you kite outside it so they can't hit you. So it's all about that. Block as much fire as possible. Throw it down at the right time to deflect like a Pharah ult or anything like that. And then be disruptive. Jump on people. Fucking make them panic. Make them chase you. You know, all that kind of thing. I love Winston.
You throw off the glasses, right?
He still has the glasses. He also now has a skin that is a safari skin with a monocle and a mustache, and I fucking want it, and it never drops, and fuck you, Blizzard.
Let's do...
Yeah. Meanwhile, TB has a badass Reinhardt skin.
I do.
I have no
I got Matador Reaper, by the way. I got Matador Reaper, and he's amazing.
I would love a skin. I got voice lines for days. I
got one skin. It is a yellow Torbjorn who I never fucking play.
Torbjorn is still boring.
Skins, Pink Tracer, Pink Bastion. I have no problem with that, by the way. I fucking love that.
I was going to say.
Pink Bastion is Stone Cold Killer. It's great to see play of the game, Bastion, but I want something cool.
It's Fashion Watch is what it is. You know, it's all about the style.
I know. I want them so bad. Sam's gotten, so many really good skins. He got the Devil Mercy, I think.
Yeah.
And he got the both of the Punk Tracers. I'm just fuck yourself.
I just would like to point out how unfair it is that Lore from Blizzard managed to get 2 legendary skins and a rare thing in one.
Sickening
case.
nepotism.
That's
the
some
corruption
bullshit right there.
Actually, this is about ethics and skin drop rights.
Yeah, this is about ethics and skin.
Yes. So, for those who don't know why the fuck we're talking about skins, basically, when Overwatch's beta came back, which was like a week ago, they added a progression system into the game, which is all cosmetic. So every time you level up, you get a box. In the box, there are 4 items. Usually, they're things like custom sprays, custom voice lines, animations. You can also get skins, and of course, there are legendary rank skins and all that kind of thing. So I have 2 legendary rank skins. They're probably, in fact, I'm almost certain that they're going to sell them eventually. If you get the pre-order,
they said,
they're going to sell them.
Today, I think they're selling
did they confirm
the boxes.
that today?
Yeah, they're going to sell the boxes, but they won't sell credits.
Right.
So I think that's what they said they're
yeah,
because
you get credits from drops or by salvaging duplicate stuff that you have. So kind of like Dust in Hearthstone.
Yeah. It's Hearthstone style.
Except you can't de stuff that you don't have a copy of, apparently. Like, you're stuck... If you have a shitty Tracer skin, you never play Tracer, you're stuck with that skin. So, fuck you, apparently. But yeah, I mean, they're obviously going to monetize that. Obviously.
Yeah, this is one of those games where even though I constantly see people who only play one character... To be like really, really good at it, you have to know like
people who just play one character are the worst because they're limiting. That game is about switching characters and about adapting to what the enemy team is doing at that position in that moment at that time. If you stick to one character like Offensive Bastion, like a moron, then you end up being a.
But sometimes it works.
Sometimes it does, and there is a time for Offensive Bastion, and there are plenty of times that are not for Offensive Bastion.
You just need to know when to use certain like TB was saying earlier with Winston, like if a Winston's coming at your house and trying to like take the point, switch to I don't know, like
Reaper.
Reaper
is my fucking bane. It's the worst. I mean, having another sniper on the team is good against Winston too. Diva's good against Winston. Any shotgun character, Roadhog is amazing against Winston. At that point, if you're running like Roadhog Reaper and I'm getting wrecked, I'm gonna change out of Winston because I'm fucking useless now. You know, so I need to switch out. And that's all that game is. That game is about what happens in that particular moment, and then the enemy team, if they're good, switches to adapt to you, then you switch to adapt to them, and so on and so forth. It's like making plays, you know, you make your plays and then you change your roster.
I will say Dodger's lucky in the fact that she picked the one character who is basically like the Genji killer, where you can just throw a landmine in his face and blow him up.
Blow him up.
What up, hater?
Yeah, I did that
I
did that to someone midair, and it was the best thing I've ever fucking done in my life. It was so good. I was really enjoying that. But yeah, unfortunately, like, you know, a lot of pubbies and bad players, it's like, this is the character I'm playing, and I'm playing this character all game. No, that's not how this is not Dota. Like, you've got to treat it differently. And I don't know, though, I think I'm the opposite to you, Jesse. I'm able to stream solo with pubbies and not get mad at pubbies because I have, like, no expectations of pubbies.
Oh, well, I here's the difference, and this is... I think
with you guys, I'm tryhard because I know you can handle it, but apparently my viewers can't. So, you know.
Oh, well, fuck them.
They're
so
babies.
I feel like the difference I feel emotionally, like salt level wise, is in a game like Heroes, for example, in like a MOBA style game, for some reason, the idea of like, I don't know if it's because it's you see like everything going on, like it's a top down look. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, first person, I'm just having like a fun fucking time trying new shit, not giving like, I don't know what it is. Like for some reason in Overwatch, I just don't have like, there might be moments where something happens on the other team that's like super fucking cheesy, or I get like really worked up because they did something amazing and I'm like, oh, fuck you. Right. But like, there's never a moment where I come away after playing like, I'm mad and I fucking will never play this again. If anything, I'm like, God damn it, I gotta wait till tomorrow to play this shit again. All right. Like, it's like, I got a life to do. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out, but I've like, it's a salt-free zone. It's so much fun. It's such
one
a
thing
fun
that's
game.
One thing that's way cool about Overwatch, I think, is the maps. The maps are just cool worlds to be in. Like you said, first person. Like, you just feel good being in that environment, I feel like.
Yeah, they do. They're so well designed. They're visually really impressive. The addition of Nepal and that new China map or whatever is really cool. So I hope they keep doing that. The Hollywood is awesome. It has new posters now, which is great. The fake Goldshire production posters. There's little details in there for Blizzard fans that people I think will really enjoy when they see them. They
created a world in a place that doesn't necessarily need a world. Like one of the maps is, hey, we're going to fucking Nepal where Zenyatta's weird robot people live. Like, that's a thing. Why does it need to be a thing? It doesn't. But it's like
that's all about engagement.
So
they want people to give a fuck about the characters, because if you give a fuck about the characters, you'll buy skins for them. You know, that's the reality of it. That's why the lore has to be strong, and hopefully they will be able to execute that. But it's obviously going to be a pretty damn popular game. There's no doubt. But I just publicly though, when you're playing with a team and you're playing super tryhard, apparently some people think that you're being mean to your friends, even if your friends don't think that, and they think they have a monopoly over the relationships that you have with people you know.
No, let's be clear. When we know you're in tryhard mode, we actively try to fuck with you.
I know. Exactly. That's the whole point.
Let's be very clear. When he's like, we need some more heals, I'm like, okay.
Offensive Bastion.
Offensive Bastion. We're doing it on purpose.
Exactly. That's the point. Anyway, so I do Zen solo streams of Overwatch now, and I'm just calm and I give advice and stuff like that. But I'm not going to stream with friends anymore.
Play with us.
I'll play with you. I just won't stream it. It's simple as that. I'll happily play with you. I have no problem with that. I just wish people would stop being dicks on the internet. Anyway, you know who aren't dicks on the internet? Squarespace! Because they give us money, and Dodger knows
Unless you want to make a website about dicks, then it can be dicks on the internet.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you can't do that, but I don't think they support that. But if you want to make a website about...
not a man named Richard.
Or sausages.
A man named Richard, yeah. You want to make a website about sausages on the internet?
Man named Richard.
Squarespace is the way to go. So I'm going to play you an ad for Squarespace. Squarespace.com/co-optional, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back after the break with... lots more games that we've been playing. I could talk about Street Fighter V and all sorts of wonderful things. And Marvel Heroes.
Can you talk about Street Fighter V, though?
I could talk about the login screen. I'm really good at talking about the login screen. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Our sponsor for the show today is squarespace.com/co-optional.
TB!
What? Can't you see? I'm rehashing the previous Squarespace ad to avoid having to write something original.
That's the problem. See, they weren't happy with the last ad.
What? Why? I mean, it was a perfect demonstration of their service.
Apparently, it was too meta.
What's a meta? Can I eat it?
Self-referential and jokey, referring to itself of the conventions of its genre.
So, the co-optional podcast.
Exactly. Your podcast is terrible. You need to shape up or this sponsorship is over.
Fine. I'll get to work on a new ad.
Okay, and remember, it's squarespace.com/co-optional.
Sorry, I misheard you. Squarespace.com/co-optional?
Yes, you heard me correctly. Squarespace.com/co-optional. They can get 10% off their first order if they use that link, and it's really important for tracking our metrics.
Should I tell them that that's what we use the link for?
No, of course not.
Okay, great, got it. So, I'll just tell them about how useful Squarespace is when it comes to building a website for all manner of things. Blogging like a pro? Do it with Squarespace. Setting up a store? Squarespace makes it safe, secure, and easy to do it with no coding experience required. Want to be taken seriously when displaying your portfolio? Squarespace has professional slick templates available at the touch of a button. Why pay a web designer when you can do it yourself and feel like an absolute smart ass?
They're telling me you can't use the word smart arse when describing squarespace.com/co-optional customers.
Really? How about smug?
No.
Cocky?
Absolutely not.
Better than everybody else because they decided to use Squarespace like the golden gods they are?
Look, can you just get the script written for this ad? We're on a deadline.
Alright, okay, sure. TB, help! I'm getting married to my overly handsome, muscled, yet battered ex-con boyfriend Sam Strippin, and...
No, that's the same ad as last time. You didn't think I'd notice?
Well, I mean, you've never listened to what I said before, so why would you start now?
I'm going to kick your ass.
My smart Squarespace.com/co-optional using us? The one that's designing websites for all of its passions, hobbies, and business engagements with no experience required whatsoever?
Yes, that one. Also, they say we can't claim that your arse is designing a website.
Oh, it is.
Ew.
Squarespace. Build a professional-looking website with no prior experience required. Whatever your passion, share it with the world in elegance and style. Why not take 10% off your first order at squarespace.com/co-optional. Squarespace. You should.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast. Yes.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
indeed.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What?
Hi. Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
We have a delivery. It's my name is X. We have a delivery for you.
X delivers between the hours of 9 and 5, Monday through Friday.
That's gonna be a thing forever, and I'm very happy about that.
I saw
I'm
so
so
many people
mad.
making X go and give it to you jokes in chat earlier, and I was like,
it was part of the Overwatch stream and part of the Overwatch highlights, and now it's become a thing. So X will be giving it to you.
X will be giving it to you Monday
will.
through Friday.
Nothing
But-
is
yeah.
better than TB not only trying to rap, but voice
My
crack at the
voice
same
went.
time.
My voice was fucked after the Metal Cruise, and
good.
So I tried to do the whole, because DMX sounds like a badass, and I sound like a 12-year-old whose balls are dropping. Like, my fucking voice breaks at the end of the line, and everyone just bursts into laughter, and we just do 5 minutes of DMX jokes. It was awesome.
I love it.
Yep.
Before we hop back
Also,
into...
X will deliver to you with Deadpool, by the way. DMX is in Deadpool, and it's awesome. That fucking
true.
movie is great!
It was. I loved
Yep.
that movie.
Love it!
I'm so happy they went solid R and delivered a solid R movie.
Oh
And
my
Yep.
god, me too. So many... Okay, I'm
told
sorry
that
if you're
Ryan
one of my
Reynolds'
friends.
dick is on display, and we didn't notice.
There's, yeah.
Oh, when he flies through the air
It's-
naked, there's definite dick.
Oh,
on display.
that's what we didn't notice. I mean, there was arse. There was plenty of Ryan Reynolds' arse, but
No, when-
apparently,
when
There's,
like all-
there's dick. There's full
when
on.
he's all, like,
Don't
deformed.
spoil anything. Don't spoil anything.
yeah, don't spoil anything.
Spoiler for Deadpool when he becomes deformed because of the
Jesse,
mutant powers.
stop, just stop. I know
Spoiler.
you go way too far on this. Stop.
I was gonna say there's a scene where he's naked and you see his dick. That's literally what I was gonna say.
There it is.
Yeah,
that's all
it.
I was gonna say.
That's all you need to know. Cool.
Yeah, that movie was great. But if you're one of my friends, sorry, calling you out. If you're one of my friends that on Twitter was like, I went to see Deadpool and like it was really good, but I had to like close my eyes because it was so violent. Who knew it was going to be so violent? I'm like,
You fucking idiots.
how did you not know it was going to be a violent movie? It's like super violent for anybody who's not expecting that. It's an R-rated,
It's an
violent
R-rated
movie.
superhero movie. What the fuck did you expect?
There are boobs and it is wonderful.
There's boobs, there's vagina, there's dick, there's
Dick,
man ass, there's woman
everything.
ass. It's fun for all the family.
And there's a post-credit scene. It is the best Marvel movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Yep.
I also wanted to throw out there, since we're like not talking specifically about games, but games adjacent things. Before we hop back into the video game section, I listened to the Radiolab about that dragon cancer, and
So did I.
it's
Holy
fascinating.
shit. That is all right. Real talk. I listened to that and immediately was like, I need to go play this game. But then, like, I don't know that I can physically handle it because listening to that Radiolab is like I was in the car, like
Did you
water
almost-
ride.
Me too. I was like, this is
I'm
so
on the
different.
highway.
It's like
I was
crying
on the
while
highway
driving.
trying not to die. Because all right, go listen to this episode of Radiolab. It is about that dragon cancer, and it is legitimately like it's the story of the family, and it is like one of the craziest, like saddest, like they get so like behind the scenes, like in depth, like crazy. I think it's hard. It's a hard listen.
If you're somebody who's felt at some point that this game might have been exploitative, I think listening to this would totally change your mind on that.
Did people actually believe that? Are there people that
Yes.
fucking
Oh my
dumb in the
God,
universe?
yes.
Fuck those
was
people.
A whole big. I know that you've like avoided
I will
everything
cut
about
off
the game.
your dick if you
But,
believe that.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who were like, I think it's really fucked up that they made this game. And
Yeah, those people are fucking idiots.
And the parents, I think it's been really fascinating because the parents have always confronted that situation by being like, we just want people talking about it. If you feel that, that's okay. Because like we know why we made this game, and if you're discussing like the topic, then that's important to us. So yeah, it's a really, they do describe in detail a lot of things about the game. So if you'd like to come into the game from like a fresh, like blank slate, not knowing anything about it really, aside from the subject matter, then I would say play the game first. But the Radiolab is so good on it. It's really, really, really good.
That's unfortunately a game that I basically refused to play because of obvious fucking reasons. It's just like, I said it to the devs as well. It's like, best of luck in your game. I am not looking at it, and you know I'm not going to look at it. And it's like, we totally get it. Like,
I will definitely say, like, and I don't know if Dodger had this, but the reason I was like teary-eyed at the end of this episode wasn't that it was sad. It's that the last maybe 5 minutes are like the most beautiful, like, emotional thing that I've ever heard in my life. Like, I can't, like, I don't even want to talk about it because I would just say go listen to it. But like the last 5 minutes of the episode, when they talk about like how they wanted to end the game, are so fucking like beautiful that it's literally like soul wrenching. It's, oh my god, like I can't even. Just go take 30 minutes out of your life and listen to it, because holy shit.
Yeah, and it's a companion piece to another podcast called Reply All that covered the same topic, but just with like different information. So I haven't listened to that yet, but if you're looking for another one that talks about it more.
Also, just in general, Radiolab is like the best fucking podcast.
The best podcast. It's so
I'm
good.
saying it on this podcast. It's the best podcast.
Oh well, yeah, they actually try. Which is obviously not what you should be doing if you want to be popular, by the way.
Oh my god, they're so good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the one about the Montreal Screwjob, which is all about wrestling, that I strongly recommend you listen to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, since we're kind of on the Deadpool topic, although it just got horribly derailed by some really serious shit, can I talk about Marvel heroes then?
Yeah. Go for it.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, they're all connected. Deadpool had cancer. Dragon cancer. And this game's business model on launch was literal cancer. Mm-hmm. There you go. It's no longer true. So this game has been... I looked at this game almost 3 years ago when it first came out, and I wrote it off as a poor man's Diablo with a shitty business model. And I was totally right back then. As it was. I played the most boring Iron Man ever. His abilities sucked to use. The combat just felt like it had no impact whatsoever. And you had to pay like $20 for the most popular heroes, or hope that you got them on a random drop. It was bullshit.
What is this game called? Marvel what?
Marvel Heroes. And incidentally, Jesse, you've been crackly all day. Like, do you know why? Like, your audio is crackly.
No, I'm with you on this. I was just talking with a friend about the fact that for some reason over the last like 24 hours, last week, Skype has literally just been like, every time I'm on it with people, I crack. And I have recordings of it, and I don't know why. I can't tell you why, so I need to figure it out. But I've changed nothing, so yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, not much we can do about that right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I said, back then, Marvel Heroes 3 years ago was fucking shit. It's now a lot better. I jumped back into it because I just come back from seeing Deadpool, and of course, them being the smart people they are, they had a Deadpool promotional pack on Steam. It's like, hey, you can buy Deadpool and a bunch of costumes, a bunch of other shit for cheaper. So I'm like, okay, why not? Fuck it. I haven't played this game in 3 years. Let's give it another whack. 8 hours later, that game's a lot fucking better. That is a lot better than it used to be. It is a much better game. Yeah. So the first way that it's a lot better is in its business model. It's not shit anymore. You can try any hero up to level 10 for free. So one of the big problems I had was I bought Iron Man, but I hated how Iron Man played. And of course I didn't know that until I dropped the money on it. Now, of course, you can try any hero in the game up to level 10, and so you can figure out if you kind of like the feel.
How many heroes are there?
Lots. Let me see. Let's see if I can get a list of heroes in Marvel Heroes 2016. Because, I mean, each hero is basically a class of his own. So this has a lot of fucking heroes in it right now. Way more than it did before. I'd have to count them. There's a lot. If you go to...
But you're saying it's a lot more than Diablo. It's like crazy.
Well, I mean, Diablo has, what, 6, 7 classes? This has, like, 40.
Oh, whoa, okay.
You know, because each hero is basically their own class. Obviously, there's role overlap, but they all have their own unique spins on things, you know?
Cool.
So, I mean, you can play the Punisher, I think. You can play the Punisher, right? Yeah, and you can play Deadpool in, you know, Deadpool as a gun guy rather than Deadpool as a slashy stabby guy. You can do both. And they'll probably play kind of similar, but they're still different classes with different resource systems and different spins on them and all that kind of thing. 52, apparently, heroes. So 52 classes in that game, each with their own specs. I will say the specs are still kind of basic. Like, they're not as well fleshed out as something like Diablo is, but it kind of makes up by having a shitload more classes. And the game is based around playing a lot of different heroes. Like, just sure, you can have a main, but the game really wants you to play a lot of heroes, because every time you get a hero up to a certain level, you gain what's called a synergy bonus, and you can apply that account-wide. So right now I'm leveling up my Cyclops, because I think at level either 30 or 50, it gives 10% bonus experience to all of your other heroes. So you're encouraged. And it's actually quite quick to level. I got Deadpool up from 1 to 60, which is the level cap, in 9 hours. Now, I did
does not seem very long at all.
And I didn't even do it the most efficient way. I did use some boosts to get it there that quickly, but you can level up pretty fast in that game, and the game wants you to, because it wants you to play multiple heroes. But as I was saying, you can now acquire heroes in-game through a currency called Eternity Shards, I think, and they drop like every 10 minutes or so. So basically, I think it's about every 20 hours of playtime without any boosts. Of course, you can get luckier than this. You can buy a brand new hero for free, which is much, much better than it used to be. And you can spend much, much less Eternity Shards to get a random hero. So if you're new into the game, you don't know what you're doing, you can spend like a third of the amount to get a specific hero to get a random one.
Oh, cool.
So it's a much cooler system. Not only that, the combat's much, much better. The sound assets have been improved. A lot of the levels, heroes have been redesigned, so they feel a lot better. And the combat, particularly for Deadpool, is super fun. He can teleport forever, which is hilarious. His movement power is he stole Cable's teleporter and then cheats in the game.
Perfect. That's
so
amazing.
It doesn't take any energy. So you can warp through a level by just right-clicking, just across the level, just teleporting everywhere. I use an AoE skill called the Canadian Devil, which is literally just spinning around, randomly firing at shit. His ultimate is called the Kitchen Sink. He turns it into a random cloud and he just throws things out of it, like it's a giant burger and just like a car and all sorts of other shit. One of his other abilities is cheat, like literally hack the game. I think it's called server lag, and you can customize it to do a few different things. One of them's multiplayer, where he brings in 3 more Deadpools. So you play with that. Another one's power up, and there's another one that's like invincibility and freezes like everybody. It's a hell of a lot more fun. There's a lot more content to do. It actually has a real end game now. The crafting system is a lot more fleshed out. There's a lot more upgrades you can get. Like there's hundreds of different kinds of fucking currencies and shit in that game for unlocking all sorts of things. It's much more fun than it was, and it seems like they've almost tripled the number of enemies that were on the screen, because that game used to run like arse. Like, it can still chug a bit, but it's gonna chug when there's like 200 dudes on the screen and you're killing all of them at once, you know? If you like the whole Diablo idea of kill 100 enemies in one shot, you can fucking do that now, because they've increased the enemy density to silly levels. Like, most of the levels that you go into have supervillains constantly appearing. It's like, oh shit! Dr. Doom has shown up with 4 other guys in the middle of Manhattan. Better go kill him. You know, and that happens constantly. So there's always things to do. So it's a huge fucking improvement from what it used to be. Huge. Like, if you like Diablo and you like Marvel, then you might want to try Marvel Heroes 2016 now, because it's a lot fucking better.
Do you feel like you're going to continue to play it?
Totally. Yeah, I say I'm leveling Cyclops right now. Once I'm done with Cyclops, I think I might do Rocket Raccoon. But I was also thinking of doing, like, a big stompy character, because I play my Deadpool with ranged weapons, so he's kind of my range guy. Cyclops is also a ranged guy, but with fucking I-beams, you know, and I-beams is awesome. If you like, you know the wizard in Diablo with this, like, beam ability? Like, you can build Cyclops entirely around that, by just holding the button down and spinning around and fucking melting people. So that's pretty cool. So I might switch to Rocket Raccoon. I was thinking maybe playing the Thing or the Hulk or something, just so, like, see how a big stompy character is, or Juggernaut, you know? Mm-hmm. There's some really cool characters in there. You can play Squirrel Girl. Aww. She is a playable character. They also have sidekicks now called Team-Ups. So I'm Deadpool, and my sidekick is Kid Deadpool. So it's Deadpool. It's Deadpool in a cowboy outfit. So I'm having a lot of fun. Pretty cool. I like it. The only problem I've really got with it right now is the loot. They overdid the amount of loot you get. It's stupid. Like, and most of it's shit. Like, it's like, you remember early Diablo 3 where they gave you way too much loot and it was all bad? Mm-hmm. Game's kind of like that, but it also gives you good loot, but then it gives you like 10 copies of the good loot, and you try to figure out what the differences between them are. It's like, that's really annoying. And you have limited inventory space still. It's not as bad as it used to be, but you have a shared inventory, which means your inventory fills up real fucking quick. So they have like an auto disenchant loot filter thing, which levels up a little pet you have, which gives you a bonus or sells for like 1% of its value or some shit. but you get so much stuff, and like the loot filter doesn't work and everything. Like rings aren't auto disenchanted, so there's some problems there, and managing it is a fucking nightmare. But outside of that, though, it's a really fun game and it's free. Kyle, are you a Diablo person? Have you ever played a game like that?
I played Diablo 3 when it launched, and actually had a really good time. We like set it up like land
You actually
style.
enjoyed Diablo 3 on launch?
Yeah, because I was playing with friends. You know what I mean? Cooperative makes any game fun. And so, yeah, we were just playing through the campaign. I beat it and then stopped. You know what I mean? That was it for me. I was like, got through that story, learned what happens.
That was how I originally did it, too.
Yeah, I was good, you know? So I am curious of what the story's like in Marvel Heroes.
It's got a story mode. It's got these really cool cutscenes. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, the Taskmaster instructional fucking video is amazing.
Cool.
I love Taskmaster.
He's a big part of that game. He's
such
in
a shit.
Yeah, he's in multiple instances. They have a video of him instructing people on that shit. So it has a story mode, but if you want to just power level, once you hit level 20, it's got what's called Legendary Quest, which is kind of similar to the way Diablo kind of does its infinite stuff, where it's like it will pick a random place in the world, say travel there, do this, and give you a shitload of experience for it. So you can do that, or you can play the story mode, which is a story mode, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's not bad. Like, if you're into Marvel and you don't take it too seriously, pretty good. But it's not the optimal way to level. You can level a lot faster if you just do the legendary quest grind thing. But if you want the story, which I'd recommend, play the story through once, and then use the legendary quest to grind the rest, you know?
Did you ever play, like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Yes. I'd still say games like that are better. I don't think it's better than that. Like, this was the problem I had when this game first came out. It's like, because we had X-Men Legends 1 and 2, and then Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. It's like, okay, so I can spend $60 and play all these heroes in an action RPG, or I can do the free-to-play thing and have to pay, like, $20 per hero, and it'd be super grindy and shit. The problem is that, like, they haven't made an updated version of Ultimate Alliance. That game's quite old now. I don't think this game's better, but it has a lot more longevity because, if you're into the whole endgame loot grind and optimization thing, there's a shitload of that to do, So it's not too bad. Like, I assume you enjoyed Ultimate Alliance.
Heck yeah. That's another one that's so fun with a buddy.
Try Heroes then.
Cool.
Heroes 2016, try that. I think you'll probably enjoy it.
Cool.
Yeah, so I played that. All right, who else wants to throw their hat in the ring?
Oh my God! I played a ton of games this week.
Good! Right, finally, yeah, awesome.
First off, I mean, I have spent way too much time failing at The Witness.
I want to play that so bad. I still haven't touched it.
I'm
scared.
Once I discovered the hidden shit in the game, it became an obsession of mine to find all the hidden shit, and so. Thank God this isn't a Let's Play, because, people would lose their mind, because I'm literally just, exploring every nook and corner, trying to find, all the things that will help me understand truly what the fuck is going on in this game, because I don't know. I don't know that there's a story to this game, yet I'm being told there is one. I want to know what it is, because if it's like Braid, it's going to be like, once you play the game and unlock the 26 stars and you get all the things, then you'll find out what the game's really about. So I'm like, I want to avoid all that BS of thinking what I know the game is about and just figure it out. And it's just slowly driving me crazy. I'm becoming a crazy person.
Do you want us to tell you, or is that a spoiler?
That would be a spoiler.
That would be a big spoiler. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I when people are like, do you want me to tell you what the ending's about? I am curious that they know what the ending's does that make sense? It's when
people... Do they really know?
Yeah, when people played Braid and they told you what the story was about, and then you found out what it was really about, you're like, well, you didn't fucking know at all. And I feel like that's the same situation here, where everyone's like, oh, I've beaten it, but it's like, did you beat it, though?
Did you get it? Yeah.
Did you beat it? And that's where I'm at, where I'm just like, I kind of know where the narrative is going. I don't know what the story is, though.
All right.
So Kyle, I assume you've played this, right? I want to be
very sensitive. Yeah, I want to be very sensitive about it, because it is cool. I'll just say, Jesse, there's something in there that is the definitive thing you're looking for.
Okay. All right,
it's there.
That's a good way to say it.
Like
yeah, but you do have to find it, man. And it's not
absolutely
like it's not something you would naturally find when you play through the game.
And it's like, I think the biggest tip is while looking through those videos you unlock that are basically like 12-minute 1970s like science videos, like where it's just a dude talking, and you're like, what the hell does this have to do with this game? Like, I think when you hit that point of the game, you're like, all right, there's something else happening. What is going on? So yeah, that's where I'm at. And
I watched one that was 45 minutes long. It was so long, and I watched the whole thing.
And it's one of those things where, like, the first time you get a video, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to put this in context of what's going on in the game. And it kind of fit, but you're like, why would this be here? But the second and third time you find videos, you're just like, all right, what the shit are these doing in this game? And what does this have to do with anything? And it's that point where I was like, all right, there's definitely a secret hidden deep in this game that I need to find, and I just need to suffer through puzzles that I'm going to be bad at in order to figure this out. And that's where I'm at, is I'm just slowly rummaging through.
I'm glad I don't give a fuck about story, because I would hate grinding through that game to find out what was going on.
Well, some of the puzzles like are super fun and creative, and it's like really inspiring to think that like I hope I don't know the process, but I imagine he created most of these puzzles himself. I don't know, but holy shit, they're like, some of them are just like, get out. Like, you see the puzzle, and when you figure it out, you're like, shut up. Shut up.
I remember as a kid beating Myst and not knowing what that game was about at all. Just being like excited that I beat it. And I think it's interesting coming at a game that is obviously like sort of spiritually attached to Myst. Coming at a game like that as an adult and being like, no, I'm going to need to know what this game is about. Like, I'm not going to feel satisfied just knowing I got all the puzzles, right?
Especially when all of the dialogue in the game is either from a weird video you find or from weird audio clips of really cool voice actors legitimately in the most boring voice imaginable reading you quotes from scientists or like enlightened thinkers or crazy. Like, it blows my mind they have these amazing voice actors, and it's literally like, the Rig Veda states that, and it's like, what? Mm-hmm. What? It's crazy. Like, it's a crazy game. And the more puzzles you do, I think it's genius in that everything's connected. You never, unless you're very early on, but you never really go into a puzzle not knowing what to do, because something earlier will have told you exactly what to do and will influence that. And if you find something you don't know what to do, clearly you're in the wrong place. And if you backtrack, you'll like weave your way into, like, it teaches you step by step how to solve everything. And by the time you get to the crazy shit, you're like, let's do this, motherfucker. I got this. Like, it's, I don't know. I something about it I love. I love the game. So
yeah, that's what, Jesse, that's what I really like about it, is like, you're not unlocking abilities. You're just like getting smarter at puzzles.
Exactly. So, like, it's like a you leveling up system. It's genius. Like,
cool.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. Also, even though I can't particularly talk about it, I have been playing. What?
No.
Firewatch I can talk about. I fucking love Firewatch.
So I beat Firewatch. Kyle, do you play Firewatch?
I've not played Firewatch yet. No spoilers.
Well, it takes you about 4 hours. So we'll dodge around the spoilers for you. But yeah, it only takes about 4 hours, so you can beat it in an afternoon quite easily.
Yeah. I love Firewatch. I think it's like a really creative game. I think it's beautiful. I am concerned. My biggest concern is that the more I play it and the more I'm like, oh my god, this is just like Lost, the more concerned I am that everyone's saying it's a 4-hour game and being 3 hours in that I'm not going to get an ending. I'm like, don't you fucking lost?
You're getting lost. Like, this is the biggest discussion online right now, right? Firewatch's ending does not match up to what goes on in the middle, because I bet you're in the middle of the mystery right now and you're super fucking pumped about it, right? Yes?
I am definitely... There may or may not be gates involved. There's definitely,
Yeah, okay, so you kind of get in the mystery bit, yeah. That's the strongest part of the game. The ending, you will probably feel let down. A lot of people did. So the debate online is whether or not the ending was appropriate, like, because the ending is quite mundane and people have argued it's supposed to be. Because this is not... damn it, this is really hard about spoiling the game.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
Do it. Don't do it.
How do I say it without spoiling it?
Don't do it. You don't say it. You say the ending is
just say nothing.
Yeah, well, I'll just say that then. Some people think the ending is appropriate, some people don't. I fall on the side of I don't. Like, I was disappointed by the ending, and I felt it let me down.
Having not beat it, here's honestly, truly what I think is going to happen. Having, like...
How have you not beaten it? It's literally 4 hours long. Why don't you just play the whole thing?
Because I was gone.
Alright, okay.
Being a giant fan of Lost and seeing this game and seeing the mystery in this game, I am 100% convinced, not even knowing, I have no clue. I'm 100% convinced the mystery is going to keep deepening and deepening and deepening, and then in the end they're going to be like, it was never about the mystery, but it was about your relationship with Delilah the entire time, or the relationship with your wife. Like, one of those things. It's going to be like, you won't get any answers because that's not what the game's about. And I feel it deep in my soul that's what's going to happen. I don't need confirmation. I just feel it. I'm not even looking at chat right now because I feel it so much.
Don't look at chat. No, don't. Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know.
You need to finish that fucking game today because I need you to be able to actually talk to me about it. Just fucking finish it. You're probably an hour away from the end. Just get it done.
There's another reason why I haven't finished it yet, because I have Fire Emblem Fates, and...
Oh, you got that early?
Holy
that's out
shit.
in a couple of days, right?
Yes, it's out the 19th, I think. It is like really, really great. It is a fantastic Fire Emblem game. I can't really say much about it. I will say, though, it's super fucking, like, the game's purchasing scheme, I guess that's the way to call it. Like, It's basically 3 fucking games, but in the most convoluted way of, like, because you can't buy the collector's edition anymore that had 2 games in it. Actually, it had all 3. But so basically, you are either going to buy Conquest, or what's the other damn thing called? Conquest or
Birthright, I think.
Birthright, yeah.
So Birthright's probably like the good one, and Conquest is like the evil one or some shit.
Well,
and it's 2 different campaigns. Like, it's 2 full games.
Yeah. You're both playing a good guy. In Birthright, you are basically doing like a kind of normal RPG story where it's like you're getting, like, you even get more money and you get like more stuff happens in it. And you're basically like, we're the good guys and we're trying to defend off the bad guys. Basically, you're playing as feudal Japan versus feudal Europe. Like, that's what everyone looks like, kind of. So Birthright is like, we're all feudal Japanese looking dudes. And then Conquest is you are taking down the evil king from the inside. So rather than being part of the evil team, you're like, I'm going to be the good guy on the evil team and bring him down from the inside. And so that's what that story is. But it's also way harder than Birthright.
That sounds cool.
You get less everything. So it's like the part 2 of the story. So if you're going to be like a traditionalist, I guess you can play Conquest.
Apparently you can play either and it doesn't matter. Like, I'm thinking of going Conquest with it because I'm into the hardcore SRPG side of things. Yeah.
Yes, it's like the harder version. And then apparently if you bought the, like, it doesn't exist anymore, collector's edition, or I guess March 10th is when it comes like out officially. I'm not sure on that exactly, but then you can get the 3rd version, which is once you beat level 6, chapter 6, you can then break off into a 3rd branch, which is I choose to go with none of you, and I'm going to go on my own. And all of that's DLC. So literally, if you buy one, you can buy the other 2, but it's like, holy shit, there's so much going on. Like, we're going to give you 3 stories. Enjoy.
Half of me says that's pretty damn innovative, and the other half of me says that's exploitative for money. Like, I guess it depends how much content is in each thing as to whether or not that's worth it. Because if it really is like 3 full fucking campaigns and 3 full fucking standalone games, then I have no problem paying for 3 fucking games. But but is it though? You know?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I've noticed so far, and I'm not, admittedly, I haven't beaten even one of them yet, but it appears to me that Conquest and Birthright are like legit full games. I'm very curious what I think it's Revelations is the 3rd one. Fire Emblem Fates Revelation is the 3rd one, and it's supposed to be like just as big, but give you insights. Like, you're supposed to do it after you beat the other 2, because it's supposed to give you insights into what the other 2 were like. I honestly, I don't know. It's one of those things where, to me, it's like, all right, well, I played the game 3 times now. Like, I'm just really curious when that becomes a grind and not fun anymore. But I don't know. It could be 3 entirely different, wonderful experiences. I don't know.
How long are those first 6 chapters?
Oh, 3 hours? Depends on how you play.
That's what bums me out, dude. I don't want to play those first 3 chapters or 6 chapters over and over and over.
Well, it depends on how you play. Like,
Sure.
I mean, if you're like me, where you're a person who's like, I put it on the setting where if a guy dies, he's dead permanently, and then I take 12 fucking hours to do like one battle. I'm like, all right, strategically,
that's how you play Fire Emblem, man. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So Fire Emblem. Oh my God, what's the name of the last one? Fire Emblem
Awakening.
Yeah, Awakening. I literally just finished that game maybe 2 months ago. That's how long it took me to play. Where I was just like, if a character died, I would literally shut down my 3DS immediately and be like, we got to restart that shit. I'm not losing anybody. Like, that's where I was in my life. Like, I can't play this game normally. So I don't know if you'd ever get the best review for me, because I have moments of like playing, and then I die, and I'm like, I can't. All right, I'll come back to tomorrow. Like, yeah, but it's a great Fire Emblem game. It's fantastic. So I will say, if you raise your character, if you raise a relationship to S rank now, you can't do the weird like Japanese thing where you could like rub them. Like,
yes,
that
they took that out. There was a big the censorship thing, but I mean, Fire Emblem's always had a bit of a
poke them awake.
bit of a creepy aspect to it.
Yeah, now you can poke them awake. So if they're sleeping, you can be like, "Hey, wake up!" And they go, "Whoa!" It's great.
You poke them with the stylus to wake them up?
Hell yes, you can.
All right, I have an important question. How long can you watch them sleeping before poking?
I wouldn't know, because I was so amazed that I hit S rank. It was like the first thing I want to fucking do is poke this. Like, poke. I know that you can establish a relationship with, I think, 9 people in every campaign, and I think it's in Birthright. You can have a same-sex relationship as a woman, and in the other one, oh Jesus, my brain just died. In Conquest. I think you as a man, but it might be reversed. But like, you can literally like, there's all these relationships that open up in the game, and it's like every single character has like their own like, I love you for these reasons. I am outraged as a man who was immediately attracted to purple-haired big boobs in the trailer, that she's like the motherly figure. I was like, nope, not a fan of this. Not a fan of this turn of events. She's like, let me welcome you with open arms. Like, no, ew, no.
I don't want that. I want sexy times, damn it.
So Jesse, I have a question actually along these lines. So in Awakening, I liked like shipping couples. Like my protagonist never fell in love, but I would match up everyone else. Can you do that in this game?
You definitely can. What was the name of the girl who had the short haircut, who was like rode the horse, and she had the shit?
Oh, I got her killed, if I recall correctly.
Monster.
What is her damn name? Whatever. Oh God, I can't remember her name. I wish I could go to chat right now. Yeah, but like her and the French like archer. Oh, I ship them like crazy. Sully.
Yeah.
Sully and the French archer. I ship them so fucking much. Because she was like big and tough, and he was like the guy who was like the womanizer, and I was like, they're so good together.
Sully's dead.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: he's dead. I killed him. It's my fault. No! I'm sorry.
No.
Yes, I loved that shipping. That was great. Yeah. So like, I mean, literally, I don't know that I can say much has changed in the world of Fire Emblem. Like it just feels like a really solid Fire Emblem game. Like, I don't think they went too crazy to innovate the actual gameplay, but they definitely tried to make
They don't really have to do much with the gameplay. The gameplay is like one of the best SRPGs that exists. Like, there's not a lot you can really do with it right now without completely changing the stuff that we liked in the first place.
I mean, I think if you are unsure of what you think of this game, I would say avoid spoilers, but because it's a very heavily story-driven game.
Of course,
I would say go check out on YouTube. There is someone posted like the first 2 hours. It's literally the first 2 hours of, I think it's Conquest. And so you can see what that's like, and you can see sort of how the game plays. But it plays very, like, you have your castle and you can go back to it and you can establish relationships with all the characters, you know, like all the stuff that you could do before. But
I feel sorry for Project Cross Zone 2, which is also coming out this week. I'm actually more excited for that than I am for Fire Emblem Awakening, but they're Fire Emblem Birthright or whatever. But they're in the same fucking genre, and I feel people are going to ignore Cross Zone 2 in favor of Fire Emblem, which is unfortunate because that game was fun. I liked the first one. Apparently, the second one's even better.
Sure. I don't know.
You haven't played Project Cross Zone?
No,
it's a strategy. The first one was a strategy RPG where it was like a mashup of like Capcom, Namco Bandai, Sega, and a few other things, and it kind of has this like weird little beat 'em up mechanic thing going with it, where you get like two or three characters in, and you all trigger attacks at the same time, and crazy shit happens. Like I have Leon from Resident Evil, and here's Lula from Space Channel 5, and all that kind of thing. So apparently this is even more ridiculous. Like, they have stupid crossovers from fucking everywhere in it now. So I am all in on that one. Although, let's see, I think they've got even worse on the creepy fan service. I think they keep doing this. They're really bad for that. Oh, yeah, so the pair units here. So they've got Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. Dante and Virgil from Devil May Cry. Some characters from Mega Man X. They've got, obviously, Ryo and Ken from Street Fighter. They've got guys from Darkstalkers. Then they've got guys from Tekken, Tales of Vesperia, God Eater 2. Then they've got stuff like from Virtua Fighter, Resonance of Fate, and they have fucking Fire Emblem Awakening in it. Chrom and Lucina from Fire Emblem Awakening are in this game for some reason. Like, Nintendo agreed to let them be in it. And then solo units-wise, they've got people from Capcom, Namco Bandai, and Sega, basically. And, and Metal Face from Xenoblade Chronicles is an enemy unit. So they have one Nintendo enemy in there too, which is bonkers. It's really weird. But it's a very strange game. I mean, Phoenix Wright is apparently in it. So you can literally team Phoenix Wright up with Dante, which I guess you could already do in Marvel vs. Capcom. But you could team him up with a guy from Tekken or whatever and just go to town. It's crazy. So
that's cool. Yeah,
I don't know if that's out today. I thought it was out in a couple of days, but if it's out today, I'm definitely playing it today before Fire Emblem comes out. Because I loved the first one. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. It's definitely fun. I don't know too much. I mean, I went Birthright because I figured I'd do the whole like Birthright Conquest. So
I think I'll do it the other way around.
I literally can tell you nothing of what's going on in Conquest, but it's definitely like a really fun, I don't know. It's as simple as if you liked the previous like Fire Emblem games, you're gonna love the shit because it's like it feels the exact same way. It doesn't take anything too crazy and like go into drastic. It's one of those things like if you like X JRPG, you'll love this other version of the same JRPG, like that kind of shit.
Yes. So it's a strategy RPG along the lines of Fire Emblem, Shining Force, and Final Fantasy Tactics. If you like those games, you'll probably like this one.
Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest selling point is the story. I think it's so far great.
I've got to be honest, I never beat the last one. Kyle, did you beat the last one? Because that's a long game.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. Yeah, it is a long game. And there are lots of resets, like Jesse says. But yeah, it's you care about each of these characters so much. And in Awakening, they're children. You got a whole new generation. And you're like, man, I got to see this through.
Yeah, you start to get invested in it. There was a lot of DLC for the last one, if I recall correctly, too. I played a little bit of it, but I didn't come close to beating the whole thing.
Like the DLC made me mad.
Why did the DLC make you mad?
Because you could grind it.
Okay.
You could like replay through maps to like grind for XP, which really effed up the balancing of like where they intend you to be when you play a certain chapter.
But I mean, wouldn't the grind be your personal decision to do? Like, it doesn't tell you to do that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you could just exploit it, I guess, is what bugged me.
I mean,
didn't feel right.
I mean, that to me, I'm going to play devil's advocate on that and say that feels like they put that in the game to give people a choice. Like, it's almost like the legendary quest in fucking Marvel Heroes. Like, if you don't want to do the story, you've got this that lets you efficiently grind. Like, so it plays to both playstyles. Like, if you don't want to grind, then you don't do that map repeatedly.
Yeah. And I did. I explicitly ignored it. I just was like, nah, this stuff isn't real. This isn't happening in this world. I got to ignore this.
I mean, that's the way to go, in my opinion, isn't it? Like, you have that choice as a consumer to not do that thing. I mean, you can definitely make the argument that it's tempting, And you can also then, after that, make the argument then, what if they deliberately made the grind harder in the main game so they could sell the DLC to tempt you,
Right.
That goes back to the whole, Dodge's many reasons for hating Dead Space 3 argument, where it's like, you can buy resources, but you don't have to, says the devil's advocate. And then Phoenix Wright says, objection! But what if...
Phoenix Wright is in Dead Space, for anybody who was curious.
Yeah, he's an enemy type.
Yes.
You can slice off his tie. You can't do that. If you could, it would
None
be
of this
much
is true.
fucking better. But you can then make the opposing argument that if you put in premium ways to grind, then the developer has a incentive to make the non-premium ways to grind tougher.
Yeah.
Because they want to sell you stuff. So you could make that argument for Fire Emblem, and you would be making a legitimate argument. But personally, I think as a consumer, especially now, considering we already know, the ins and outs of that game, you can avoid that. You just don't do it.
Yeah, I trust them. What's a developer? Intelligent Systems? I trust them.
I believe
they
so.
Wouldn't do that. Yeah.
I don't think they've done anything shitty. I don't recall them doing anything shitty. Anyway, as I said, people. I know some people were a bit about the DLC for Fire Emblem Awakening, and they're also a bit what when it comes to the business model this time.
What? It is crazy. Like
it is a bit. I mean, it's Pokemon taken up to 11.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the Pokemon 2 release thing taken up to an even more ridiculous level. It really it comes down like, look, how good are those campaigns? Because they're sharing assets, That's an interesting debate. So, can we get into this briefly before we go to the break? I want to hear from each of you. When it comes to sequels, and it comes to sharing assets, like, what do you think a sequel has to include in order to be worthy of full price? Because I think, like, we're past the days of Doom 2. Because right now, I think if Doom 2 came out today, people would say, that is a shitty sequel. They only added one extra weapon? They barely changed anything? It's got most of the same enemies? That's not a sequel. Yet back then, of course, that was fucking awesome. So, Kyle, let's start with you. Like, what do you think a sequel has to be in order to be worthy of that full price tag?
It's got to be Majora's Mask. You know what I mean? It's if you want to use the same assets, you got to go so different in what you're offering.
Okay.
I think.
I totally agree.
As someone that barely played those games, can you explain why Majora's Mask and Ocarina were different?
Okay, yeah. They're different in tone. Basically, Majora's Mask is like weird and dark. It has a hub. It has a city where everything resets after 3 days. But what makes that part interesting is that everyone within the city has a path, a life that they lead for each of those 3 days. So this person will always check the mail at 9 a.m., for example. And so, like, it has that whole component of, like, solving puzzles by, like, these interactions with these real-life people who are living out their days. And so I think, like, just a mechanic like that is enough to warrant a sequel, even if you're reusing the same link. And mostly the NPCs are all the same, too.
Okay.
Just with different names. It's very bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, your opinion on this?
Well, I mean, you've played World of Warcraft. They reuse shit in that game all the time to, like, keep it going. And
I think like MMOs are a kind of bad example, though. Like, because we need a true sequel. A real sequel, or kind of like Fire Emblem, where they've got two simultaneous releases and they're charging full price for both. What do you need?
We can talk about Final Fantasy 1 through 6, basically, where they had, except for like a few upgrades here and there along the way. I mean, it's mostly like the same core mechanic, except for 5 is different. But like, I feel like it doesn't matter if you use the same art assets. It doesn't matter if you like if the character is Shotgun Pete. If he only comes back with more shotguns in the next game, you should expect it. Shotgun Pete's not going to be Uzi Pete in the next game. Like, he's going to have shotguns.
But some people want him to be Uzi Pete, though. Because they're like, I've already seen Shotgun Pete. I want to see Uzi Pete now.
But he's Shotgun Pete. So if he's, so what they need to do
is... Maybe Uzi Oscar will show up.
Yeah, like, they need to add something new.
So you keep Shotgun Pete, but you have to also have Uzi Oscar in your sequel in order to make it work.
Yeah.
I think though you could also shine a new light on Shotgun Pete. Like, if he's crying in the sequel, I'm in, because I've never seen Shotgun Pete do that before.
Right, okay. Right. So you're invested in Shotgun Pete as a character now, and not just in the fact that he has shotguns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I feel like a sequel doesn't necessarily need to change the things we know and love. It needs to take the things we know and love, keep them, and then add something else to that expands upon what we know and love. So if what we love is the graphics of it or whatever, or like we think that it looks beautiful, then the sequel needs to keep it looking beautiful and give us something else.
Up the ante.
Right. If we like the thing because Shotgun Pete was badass with his shotgun and the gunplay was fun, then the sequel is keep that same gunplay, keep that same badassness, give us something else. Give us a story, give us better graphics, give us something else to go along with it. So yeah, I think that's like what makes a sequel worth full price, is not always being like, we're going to change it and make it completely different. It's, we're going to give you what you love, but we're going to make what you love better. And I think that's what a sequel should be.
I agree. I agree on that. Dodger, I'd like to hear your opinions, and then I'll go on mine.
I felt very similarly to Kyle. I was trying to sort of concoct how to say it in my mind, and Kyle mostly said it. But yeah, I feel that I don't need the sequel to look different. I don't need the sequel to like have new advanced mechanics, because I think sometimes when they try to, I think sometimes the first one had a good balance, and then there's an expectation to put more in there, and then it becomes unbalanced or cluttered, right?
Yeah,
and it feels like
feature creep is a big problem in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily need that or want that or daydream about that. What I daydream about for a sequel to a game is that it has all of these elements that I loved about the first one, but that it utilized the characters in a new way, or the story was completely different, or it just it managed to take all of the same things and then displace them, and give me something that where the experience felt new, but everything that I had to do personally inside of the game, I recalled it from the first one.
Yeah, that feeling of familiarity.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
And I think some people would be surprised, especially if you read the internet, you'll believe that everyone like really wants innovation and they want things to be changed a lot. In reality, actually, a lot of gamers just want the thing that's safe. They know they like it. That's why they buy Call of Duty every year, because they know it's going to be safe. And when Call of Duty goes too far of its way to change itself, like Advanced Warfare did, they complain. You know? Mm-hmm. So there's Jesse, defend Dynasty Warriors on the basis of your definition of sequels. Like, does it fit in?
Kyle. Oh no, I mean, it is. I would say it's completely undefendable. Like, it's a franchise. Oh, yeah, it's a franchise that falls in the like bad good category of just it's basically the Mila Jovovich movie of video games. Like, it's just like, if you're into that shit, you'll buy it no matter what, and if you aren't, you'll never understand why people buy it. And it
sounds like a Cybersleuth situation.
Pretty much. But you can definitely see what they tried. Like, you can definitely see them trying. They give you what you love, and then, for example, like the difference between 3 and 4, or 4 and 5, or now we're up to 8 or 8XL or whatever the hell the fucking thing is. They continually take the story, which is an unchanging story. Like, you can't change the Three Kingdoms storyline.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah. But they go through, and every time they add something a little bit different, or add new characters, or change the way those characters interact, but tell the story. And now they've added like a whole fourth kingdom, which is like, hey, yeah, no, we're the guys who really won this whole thing, but now we're in the story. And so, like, they constantly change.
Hey, you heard of the Yellow Turban Rebellion? I heard that's interesting.
It happens every time.
It does, yeah.
And
will you pursue Lubu, is the question. That's the real choice.
Always pursue Lubu.
But it gives you, and I actually think that's kind of great, that no matter what, the vast majority of your starting experiences you're going to be, I'm going to go up against the Yellow Turbans the very first map I do. And the second map I do, I'm going to that goddamn gate, and Lubu's going to show up, and you know what? He's going to kick my ass the first time I meet him, every single damn time.
Right.
But then, later on, I'm going to go back. Like, it's the same experience every single time, but they add things and change things. They take stuff out, like, Meng Huo and all those guys were just completely removed, and then they were like, we're gonna bring them back as like DLC. So they have all these different things. They keep like moving stuff around, so every time it's a different game and you're not playing the same one, but 95%
of it you are.
Yeah, it's a very shoddy example of like, oh yeah, no, we're totally we're on game 9 now. I bet it'll totally be different, guys, right? Yeah.
I think it's like, in my opinion on the whole thing is it's about finding a balance. Like, there are times when I want a series to evolve and I'm just fucking sick. You know, I'm sick of what they're doing with it. And then there are times when I'm like, you know what? I really enjoyed that. I wouldn't mind more of that. You know? And then if they change it drastically, I say, oh, well, you know, I was actually kind of looking for more of that. And then you gave me something completely different. It's almost like the developer really needs to just take the temperature of the player base and try and figure out, look, you know, did we give them enough? Did we satisfy them? I think it's all about engaging people in the world as well. I think if people are more engaged in the world and the characters, they're going to be more okay with you changing the mechanics as long as you keep the world and characters consistent. If they didn't really give a fuck, then maybe they're just more interested in the mechanics and you can completely change who the characters are, but people are still going to play the game because it's like, oh yeah, this has still got awesome mechanics. And then there are cases when they like both and they're just like, okay, we need to augment what we already had. You know, we need new levels. We need to amp it up a little bit. We need to be very careful about what we change. And I think that's actually the worst situation where they're walking on eggshells when they're trying to think about how they can create their sequel.
Well, I think if people really love the characters and really love the mechanics, then honestly, the safest way to change the game up is like doing completely different graphics. Like, just being like, the art is going to be totally different. And I think people are more willing to accept that if they're like, oh, they're all of my favorite characters. It's the same fight mechanics. It's still turn-based, you know, like whatever they can give you that way. And then just be like, oh, but all the characters look super dope now. And you're like, yes!
You know what? I think a game that I think struggled with this a little bit, like differentiating itself recently, is Hotline Miami 2.
Okay.
Like, you look at Hotline Miami 2 and you're like, what makes this the sequel? What is different about this one? What are they introducing and things like that?
I mean,
it was very self-referential, which I thought was interesting.
That's true. The argument I make, I'm a pretty staunch defender of Hotline Miami 2, and the argument that I make is that the real difference between the two games is the diversity in the characters that you can pick. Like, they're almost classes now. Before, the masks, yes, they changed the gameplay, but they didn't change it in such a radical way. Like, the characters you can play... Like, for instance, Hotline Miami has a character that's 2 people. You know, but if one of them dies, then they both die. And they both have totally different playstyles, but you have to play them both together. That's way, way different to what Hotline Miami was doing. But then again, simultaneously, a part of the problem that people had with Hotline Miami 2 is that they thought the levels were too long, that the pacing wasn't good enough.
I totally agree with that. I thought the pacing on the levels was, like, out of control. It took me forever to beat those levels. I was
surprisingly okay with it. But I can definitely see people's point. Like that I think like the quick, especially considering you've got an instant death thing going and and you have to replay the level multiple times. You don't want the level to drag on too much as a result of that. And I think that yes, Hotline Miami 2 at some point definitely brought that to the table and said you should go a bit further. Like no, you've overdone it. Like this level's too long. You're pushing us and we're having to replay so much of the level every time that we're starting to get sick of it. Personally, I love the gunplay and the moment-to-moment immediacy of the gameplay so fucking much that I was able to ignore that. That's my argument in favor of Hotline Miami 2. Maybe you think I'm wrong about that.
No, I mean, it supports what you're talking about. Like, it's enough different for you from Hotline Miami 1.
But it wasn't enough for you.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's the subjectivity of that. Yeah. It's an interesting discussion. I like that. I think that another great example to bring up actually is Far Cry. The difference between Far Cry 3 and 4. I mean, Jesse, you loved Far Cry 4, right?
I love 3 more.
You love 3 more. I did too. And I think that 4 and Ubisoft in particular, Assassin's Creed is a prime fucking example of this. Assassin's Creed is an example of changing the art and the setting and not changing anything fucking else for the most part. And then people are crying out for innovation with it. They give it to you in a Black Flag and then they take it away again and then people are pissed. And now they give a bit more in Syndicate. Now people are okay. And now they're saying, oh, we're going to delay it a year. And people are like, So, yeah, that's a weird situation. But with Far Cry in particular, I felt like, Far Cry, I'd already got that experience out of Far Cry 3, so I didn't need it out of 4. And the characters that were in 3 that I cared about weren't in 4 anyway. So I didn't get to take advantage of that. So I found 4 to be a fairly dull sequel as a result.
And going along with this, Blood Dragon is so fun.
Yes.
and because it's just so different. I love Blood Dragon.
Yep, I absolutely agree with that. You know, there's an example of taking the mechanics, dialing them up to 11, and completely fucking with the setting to the point of parody.
Yeah. How much was Blood Dragon?
$15.
Yeah, it was cheap.
You know, Far Cry 4 was $30. I think I wouldn't have had that same criticism. Because it almost felt like an expansion. It's like, hey, here's the thing, like, with Far Cry 4, really, in most part, the same guy could have just gone to the Himalayas on another trip and got involved in another fucking adventure.
That's absolutely, especially considering the ending of 3. Like, yes, he definitely could have.
Yeah. And I think therein lies the problem, because it's the same damn mechanics, and it's the same damn systems, and the same damn gunplay, and all that sort of thing.
But Ajay Ghale, man. Ajay Ghale.
You know, and I'm not saying that Pagan Min is not a fucking amazing antagonist. He fucking is. But, you know, I think the Far Cry 4 needed more. And you've played Primal now, Jesse. Do you think Primal is different enough? Do you think that takes it in the right direction?
God, yes. Oh my god, it's totally different.
Sounds like it's totally different. Yeah.
Here's my weird, like, Ubisoft thing that I don't know how they work over there, but I'm very curious to find out. Like, take Far Cry, for example, and we can do this with Assassin's Creed or any other of their games. Far Cry gave us Far Cry 3 gave us a bunch of different systems. They then, like, they were sort of testing, and then they added directly into Far Cry into Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4 gave us the Thanka scene where you're like, you have an animal pet that you control, you shoot bow and arrows, you build a house in Far Cry 4. Far Cry Primal is you control an animal, you now control like owls that fly through the air, you are a bunch of different things, plus you're building not a house, but a village. Like, every time they add shit onto it, and I don't know if it's like all the development cycles are sort of like next to each other, so they're like, oh, that's a cool idea, we should put that in our game for a little bit, or if they're like testing shit to see what fans like, because if you have Assassin's Creed, that's how we went from a really cool, like, oh shit, I'm on a boat and this is kind of fun, to an entire game of like, I'm on a boat and this is kind of fun. I'm really curious how they work, because they definitely steal stuff from the other games, and like, oh, people love that shit, the next game's all that shit. And I'm really curious how they do that.
Sometimes they do. They'll notice that one thing resonated a lot. Because I think maybe that could even be why Black Flag exists. You know, I don't know, because I wasn't paying attention around that time, because I didn't give a fuck about Assassin's Creed 3, whether or not the ship stuff in Assassin's Creed 3 resonated with people.
Oh, it was the best part. It was the best part of that game.
Well, that's why Black Flag exists.
I loved it.
You know, because that part resonated.
But then I was like, what are the development cycles of these games? Like,
they're longer than 1 year. Like, I'm pretty sure like they rotate the studios out, so it's more like 2 years. But that's not to say that in that year, because bear in mind that I've obviously had focus testing beforehand on 3, and people would have probably said we really like the boats. So now that's influencing the current development cycle, and maybe 4 was going to be a different game before 3 came out, and everyone said we love the fucking boats. Be like, oh, you love the fucking boats? All right, now it's a much bigger part of our game. You know?
And chat's even right. Like, in Far Cry 3, Voss was an amazing character, like this, like, really, like, charismatic bad guy that is gone halfway through the game. Yeah. And then you get replaced with a bad guy, you're like, oh, he's the main bad guy? Well, I don't fucking care. And so they made the main bad guy of 4 the most charismatic person in the fucking game.
Yes.
But the problem was that you were waiting to get to the next scene when you hung out with that guy, because you didn't care about anyone
He wasn't
else.
in it enough, almost. Like, they teased you with him too much. And, like, I didn't care about the rebel characters at all.
Amita, they were assholes.
Amita go jump off a cliff. Like, she was so fucking annoying. It's like I wouldn't even call her morally ambiguous. She's a fucking psychopath. Like, and the other guy is just an idiot.
Oh, like a religious zealot. Yeah, they're all nuts. Like,
yeah,
you either choose
Pagan Min was the most reasonable character in the game, and that's damning.
Absolutely.
You know, I think weirdly enough, I think that was the point. Actually, I think the writers were doing that on purpose.
I still love that secret about the beginning of the game.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just like my fucking favorite thing that I've ever heard about a AAA title.
God, it subverts everything that you expect about a AAA title. Everything. And that's so wonderful that it did that.
Yep.
Big fan.
Yeah, no, Primal is legitimately like, we took everything you love from the Thanka in Far Cry 4 and the, like, world building that we sort of kind of added, and yeah, now you make a tribe, and your tribe goes out and picks up all the shit off the ground and hunts, so you don't got to do all that shit all the time.
It's nice.
You, like, build your tribe up. When you go rescue people, instead of them giving you money, they're like, hey, I'm in your fucking tribe now. And you, like, you fight other like eviler like the big angry Neanderthal tribes and like the tribe that's mastered fire and like crazy shit. And then you're the fucking Beastmaster. So literally every animal in the game, you're like, you are now mine. They're like, okay, and you can pet them and you can send honey badgers to go fucking kill. It's
sold.
It's great. It's
Sold,
great.
yeah.
It's so cool, and it's legitimately just like you get 4 weapons and you can upgrade them from like a normal club to like a spiky club to like a fucking like.
See, here's my problem with that is that if I don't like any of those 4 weapons, then I'm fucked for the entire game. You know?
Well, yeah, you better learn to use a club, and you better learn.
I better like spears and clubs and bows, because otherwise I'm gonna hate Far Cry Primal. You know?
Oh yeah, but you can like set your bows on fire. Like it's
still a bow.
Yeah, but plus
you
learn other things. Like when people join your tribe, you can learn a bunch of different things, and like there's so much great stuff in the game that I think is so different. It reminds me of Black Flag in that they were like, let's just go way off the deep end on this shit and see what happens, and it's great. It's so cool. Yeah, as a guy who was like, there's no way
I can't wait for Far Cry 5 Unity then, where they're like, we made it too interesting. Better cut back on that.
And no, I swear to God, that's what I'm afraid of, because Far Cry Primal does not have multiplayer. Like it doesn't have like a co-op campaign.
Well, Far Cry 4 barely did.
Right, but they tried to set it up in that. And my fear is that because this one doesn't, the next one's gonna be Far Cry co-op. And
I'm fine with that.
Play with all your fucking friends.
Because
and I know it's gonna be awful.
As long as that's the actual tagline.
Can I just point out that after 2.5 hours, Kyle Bosman's camera finally came back?
Oh, you can see me.
I can't see it.
I can actually see you now. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hang on. I'm just going to turn off the picture. There we go. It's blurry, but it's Kyle Bosman, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
It took 2.5 hours, but it worked.
Oh my God. That's insane.
Yeah, it's probably going to break again in like 5 minutes. But there you go. Kyle Bosman is a real person. Hey. There he is in his blurry kitchen. Oh my God. Hey,
He's real.
Here's the thing, like, I would actually, because the co-op mode in Far Cry 3 and 4, neither were developed very well. And honestly, I would have been entirely fine with both those games having full-on co-op, because a lot of the stuff in that game would work much better in co-op. The vehicles would be a lot more fun, you know?
Full-on co-op Far Cry 4 would have been, like, the funniest, best experience of just, like, dicking around in a game where...
it would have made the game a lot better. Didn't I make that argument? I'm pretty sure I did. Did I? No. It was another game. No, it was Just Cause 3. Just Cause 3 was the argument where I said, look, this game would be way fucking better if it was built around co-op.
Yep.
And I think I'm right on that. And I think Far Cry, to a lesser extent, is that too. And they've dipped their toe in the water with these minimal co-op modes, but a full co-op for Far Cry, I dig it. I would dig it.
I'm convinced that's what's coming next, because they were like, no, we're not doing any of that. We're giving you a game that basically was a mini game in Far Cry 4, and we made a real game out of it, though. And
I'm cool with both of that, because that might prime me for a full co-op experience.
Stop.
Oh.
Boo.
I am the worst. You're all blurry now, apparently. Kyle brought the pixels.
Yeah.
Oh, Skype, you are so shit.
Share. We all got to share now.
That's a great time to go to a break, and we'll see if we can fix this fucking piece of shit. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes to talk about what limited news there is. You're watching the Corruptional Podcast. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Corruptional Podcast for the final 30 or so minutes of the show. We overran a little bit on that and didn't even get a chance to talk about Street Fighter V. So you know what? I'm including that in the news, because it's news that Street Fighter V is broken as fuck.
Perfect.
There you go.
Well... not finished, I feel like, is a better word for it.
Yeah, that's also a word for it. So, Street Fighter V launched last night on PlayStation 4 and PC.
I have it.
I have it. I bought it. I had the wonderful experience of sitting for about 20 minutes on PR Balrog's stream, watching it try to queue for a match and it never working. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was able to play a few matches last night. In between the servers crashing. The entirety of this morning, I have not been able to get online at all.
No.
Nope. So, basically, you can't earn currency because you're not connected to it, which means that the currency that you're going to earn to unlock stuff later, because they're going to release character DLC, and you're going to be able to get that character DLC for free if you've earned the thing. Also, you need to do, like, according to chat, you need to do 90 matches against the CPU to unlock a costume color, which is nuts. So I assume you can get that quicker online. The problem is the online is broken. Like, it was broken all of this morning. I did my port report video while it was broken on purpose. That's going to be encoded and uploaded after the show, thank you. And so that's busted. The game doesn't support direct input controllers, meaning the only controllers it officially supports are X input. So this, but not this thing.
Uh-huh.
Or probably that. Although that
Yes.
might work. I haven't tried that yet. But
It most likely won't, though.
yeah. Basically, it works on X input, not direct input. They're apparently patching direct input in at a later date. Here's an idea. Why don't you put that in at the start? Because that's a useful fucking function! So, that's not good. Thankfully, I can use my hitbox because I use a third-party application called XPadder, which can bind my keyboard to my hitbox. So I can play it just fine. Here's the thing. It gives you an unskippable tutorial at the start of the game that gives you Xbox controller prompts on the keyboard. That's fun. I played a good 10-minute game of Guess the Key until I finally figured...
Jesus
and you might think, oh, why didn't you just go to the options menu to check out the thing? Guess what? No options menu till you've beaten the tutorial. Hey! Real fucking smart, Capcom. Well done, well done, well done. You idiots. So,
God.
yeah, so online's fucked. As Jesse was mentioning, this game
Some things
seems...
just aren't in the game.
Yeah, they're not. Like a proper story mode, for instance.
The story mode it has is weird. It's a weird story mode.
Oh yeah,
Have
it's
you-
a
have you
not
checked that out
complete
at all?
story mode.
Yeah, it's like you play 3, sometimes just 2 matches, and there's like cutscenes with 2D art that is voice acted, but it just ends so abruptly. They're very strange. It's basically like a prologue to what will eventually
Weird.
come in June.
Yes, yeah, it's the hey, we're giving you a little bit of something, but wait, please.
Also,
yeah.
those cutscenes suck because they don't match the art style of the game. They're
Yes.
like the first one in the tutorial, because it's obviously Ryu and Ken, because of course it is. The Ken obviously has been completely redesigned, and I am entirely okay with that. You know, that's cool. But he looks like his regular Street Fighter 2 self in the cutscenes, so it doesn't match
Weird.
his model in the
What?
game.
Oh, that's because that took place when they're training. That's actually a flashback.
That
Duh.
doesn't. No, that's bullshit. Fuck you. No,
No,
I
it's
won't
a
accept
flashback.
that.
I promise you. Yeah. It's a flashback.
Don't accept it. Yeah, but
I
if the
feel like
combat's
accept
taking
that.
place when they're training, and the combat model looks like older Ken, you can't then say it's younger Ken. Surely.
Yeah.
So that's just lazy. Like,
Well, it's a lot of. I have a feeling that the vast majority of the story is fake placeholder story until a real story enters the game.
well, yeah, they're
because-
releasing a proper story mode later. I'm just like, hang on a minute. So you're telling me you've literally released an early access game? This is an early access game for full price.
Yeah, you can say that. Honestly,
I mean, fundamentally, what I believe is that they, in order to get it out for like competition like Evo, in order to give players enough time, they released it now so that those people could have time to play. So by the time July comes around and it's like super awesome hype time for Street Fighter, then those people will be prepared to actually compete.
But it's come out without fight stick support.
Yeah,
No.
only X input fight sticks work.
Yeah.
So basically, a lot of the fight sticks don't work on day one, which is fucking dumb.
That's
Thankfully,
really stupid.
yeah, I don't know what the support's like on PS4, but on PC with third-party applications, you can get them working, but it's fiddly. So use XPadder or use X360CE. Both of those seem to work. But it's lazy, because those things should be supported from the get-go, and they're not.
Yeah.
So, and as I said, online is fucked at the moment. You can't even get online. At least you couldn't when I was doing it. People are apparently getting a lot of crashes, a lot of disconnections during fights. That's happening a lot. The fights that I was able to play last night were all perfect. I will say that. I played about 6 or 7 fights. When I was able to get into a fight, there was no noticeable lag. It ran at the highest frame rate and stayed there, and I finished the fight with no problem. But apparently for other people, it's crashing a lot. So,
Do you know what kind of fight? Like,
do you know what kind of fight what?
no, I'm looking at the different fight stick issues.
Again,
And-
it's the difference between X input and direct input. X input, which is the Xbox 360, Xbox One protocol. If your stick uses that, it works out of the box. If it doesn't, you have to use an application to basically emulate keyboard, essentially.
Oh, but all right.
That's why my hitbox now works, because I'm using XPadder to emulate the keyboard.
PS4 stuff. For
PS4,
so.
yeah, I don't know about that.
It's fine. Yeah, PS4 is fine. So.
Well, I mean, that's always been like that, because PS4 does not support X input anyway, and never has, because you can't plug an Xbox controller in.
I was like, wait, hold on, yeah.
Basically, the issue is on PC. X input is Microsoft's, and direct input.
Right.
I thought direct input was also Microsoft's, but I think that it's just X input is the console protocol.
Yeah.
But so it's a pain. Again, it's like the fighting is fine. Like the actual game is fine. People ask me like, "What's the SLI support?" Like I don't care, because I mean the game only runs at 60 FPS anyway, so you don't need to SLI unless you're on lower cards. So I've never even tried it. But you can't rebind the keyboard controls. Enjoy that fact. You're stuck with whatever fucking thing they picked if you want to use keyboard. And honestly, some people might say, well, why do you use the fucking keyboard in fighting games? Actually, keyboard is really good in fighting games. If you didn't know. It gives a decent precision
because
of
the
input.
directionals?
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah, you can absolutely play. And in fact, there are some... In Street Fighter 4, some of the best Zangief players online would use keyboard so that they could do the 360 control grabs easily by just hitting 4 keys in a row, instead of having to do a full rotation. It's actually easier to do that. So, yeah.
Who's your main? Who are you playing as
right now, I'm playing Rashid.
Whoa, cool.
He's neat. I like him. I thought, the idea of having a kind of Middle Eastern character, obviously, Dalzim is a Middle Eastern character, and there have been those, but, like, it's straight up Arabian character, and they haven't done a lot of that. So I thought, hey, I'll play him, because they don't have Dan. Dan's my main,
Rashid
they don't have Dan.
is really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think.
He's really stylish. He's got these really long kicks that, like, basically propel him across the screen. He has a kind of air dive kick, which is a bit like, what was his face? What was the Native American guy in Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
Oh
T-Hawk. Yeah, so it's kind of like T-Hawk. And people are asking, is India Middle East? Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
India?
India's in the Middle East.
India is Asia.
Is it Asia? Or is it in both? All right, is India in the Middle East or in Asia? There's actually a debate about this.
It's the gateway to Asia. Can we say that?
Yeah, there's a debate over it. Basically, it's no. There's no actual confirmation one way or the other. Some people say it's Middle Eastern, some people say it's Asian. And it depends. It often depends on who you're a part of, like which tribe you're a part of, and stuff like that. So there you go.
What does Dalsim say himself? What's Dalsim?
Yeah,
I don't think he even mentioned
it for himself.
Yeah, I mean, Dalsim is Indian, right? Is he Indian or Pakistani?
Yes.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think he's Indian. Yeah. Anyway, India's like, this is obviously look. Google it, and you will find Google it, and you will clearly find there is controversy on this. Quit being so triggered. Right. Anyway.
TB, I can't imagine doing a podcast while looking at comments. That has to be so distracting.
It melts your face. It's awful.
Yeah.
And not in a good way, not in a metal way, in a I hate all of you way. It sucks. Yeah.
But for real, though, Fang's the best character. I don't care what anyone says. Thank you.
Nice.
Fang is the best. He basically has a fart cloud of poison gas that if you get near him, it poisons you. It's incredible.
And the poison is cool. It's a cool mechanic. I really like him.
It's great. Yeah, he's the first. I think he's the first
Fang,
poison character.
He's a fucking nightmare to play against.
Fang is amazing. Plus, he honestly, truly seems completely out of place in this game. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing there. I love it. I love that he's like, whoa! And he's like wacky, and he throws poison daggers, and he has basically like he's like a really I would say it's probably like one of the slowest like more thinking characters, in that like I'm gonna poison you, back away, throw up like poison clouds in my body, like you need to come hit me, good, come hit me, because you're gonna get poisoned if you hit me. Like, it's great. I love that character, so I need more of that. I need more of him.
When I went to the Capcom booth at PAX South so that we could buy all of the Monster Hunter things, they had like really ugly all over print Street Fighter shirts, and I just want a Fang one so bad because it would look so silly. They were just, it was so hard for me to not buy the Vega one because it was they're just all so weird looking. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Sorry, Capcom. Those shirts are really ugly, and I wanted one.
Pretty hideous. I'll say, like, anyway, on the subject of Street Fighter, just before we move on, like I said, I like the game. I think it's fine. It's just, it feels like an early access game. Like, it's only got bits of it. You know, it's got bits of what I feel a complete fighting game should have. And the tutorial fucking sucks in comparison to the majority of modern fighting games. You play fucking Guilty Gear Xrd, or you play any of the latest kind of Blaze or BlazBlue games, or you play Killer Instinct, or you play Skullgirls. All of those games have tutorials that blow Street Fighter V out of the fucking water. Street Fighter V teaches you nothing. If I didn't already know how to play Street Fighter, I wouldn't know a damn thing.
But it gives you, like, the ability to, like, train and learn stuff.
That's useless. That's useless, because if you don't, if you don't know what a command grab is, the game doesn't teach you what it is. You know, whereas in something like Guilty Gear Xrd, they teach you all that shit, and then they teach you the principles. You know, Killer Instinct is the same. It's like, you know, we're going to teach you what a cross-up is. We're going to teach you what footsies are and all that kind of thing. You know, footsie. You know, we're gonna teach you how to play a fighting game. You know, we're not teaching you how to play Killer Instinct. We're teaching you how to play a fighting game. This barely teaches you how to play Street Fighter, let alone a fighting game. It sucks. It's a terrible tutorial. You know, again, and as a lack of proper arcade mode and all that kind of thing, it feels unfinished. I wouldn't buy this at full price right now. I wouldn't.
But you know, Laura though.
Yeah, I mean, if you like beautiful people, Street Fighter V is full of that. Vega is the prettiest he's ever been. Rashid is a hot motherfucker. You know, we've got
except for Ken. Ken's kind of a mess.
Ken's hair is Velveeta,
I'm not really
and it bothers me so
I'm
much.
not really sure what's going on with that. It's okay. We have Hot Ryu now. We have hot man ass Ryu.
They gave him a beard, and he became the coolest fucking character in that game.
Right? Beard Ryu. That's all I've wanted.
And if you like the women, you've got Laura, you've got Cammy, and you've got Armika. So everyone is catered to in this game. Everyone is a hot motherfucker. I mean, I don't know who's into Fang, but I'm sure somebody is. Like
Jesse.
Or I just wait 6 months until Jerry comes out, and then it's on like Donkey Kong.
There you go. Yeah. It's a Japanese game. Like, they deliberately show like the nicest parts, like in all of the it's boobs flying at the screen if you do an Ultra on like Armika, but if you do an Ultra on Vega, it's pectorals all the way.
Oh yeah,
they give you a nice view. You know, everyone is sexy, everyone's hot, except for Dalzim, I guess. But you know,
no way. Dalzim even looks like even Dalzim is like, damn, dude.
I mean, he's ripped for a 150-year-old Indian man.
Ripped,
I mean, well.
I also enjoyed
Japan doesn't give a fuck. Japan's like, hey, you know the human body? People like looking at it. Let's go.
His anime stomach is the best part of Dalsim now. Like, when he sucks in fire and it goes like... And like, the body does not do that, but Dalsim does not give a fuck. He's like, I expand and do crazy shit. I love it. I don't even care. The game is having currently a
lot
shit
of problems.
launch.
Yeah.
But with that said, it's still like a solid game. I think
for what there is of it, yeah,
you could use tutorial stuff, and I think like
use a lot
some of those
stuff.
things that can be used. But at the same time, I almost feel like there's a level of like they don't give a fuck. Like,
well, they should give a fuck because they're supposed to be the premium fight. They're supposed to be like the top tier fighting game, and it's missing a lot of the features that other fighting games have. That's not acceptable to me, especially not with Sony's funding. You know, Sony just threw a fucking load of money at them, and they released an incomplete game. That's the reality of it. You know, yes, the core mechanics are great, and it will no doubt be an awesome fighting game for years to come. But on launch, it sucks. It's that simple. There's no defending them, in my eyes, anyway.
I mean, a lot of people last night were like, I'm staying up all night to play, bro. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I was on midnight to play,
and like,
I was fucking pissed.
Get online was amazing.
Yeah,
so many angry
so
people.
Upset. I was like,
it's way too hooked into the online mode, like compared to the other games, because of that currency system. Because they don't want you to cheat, you know.
That part's insane. That you can't even spend your currency. You can earn currency, you can't even spend it yet.
Well, I mean,
until March.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, and obviously, if you're in offline mode, you can't earn currency at all because they're worried about you cheating more currency into the game.
Right.
So,
oh man.
So you feel like you're wasting your time when you're stuck in offline mode, and plus, like the offline mode features suck anyway because it doesn't have a proper story mode. The survival mode is really underdeveloped, you know. And the training system fucking sucks. So you know, if you want to play it single player, you're kind of fresh out of luck.
I just want to put this out there. I know I'm not the first to say this, but I think it needs to be said. The show match last night was a setup. I'm convinced of it.
Oh, the guy beating Daigo? Was that?
Was a setup. Go, just in your free time, internet, go watch that video and go watch that bullshit. Lupe Fiasco cannot win. That is the biggest, like, we both have barely any life left, but I won somehow. No, that is a setup. That is conspiracy level setup. I'm calling Coast to Coast AM tonight and being like, George, I want to let you know some crazy shit went down with Street Fighter.
Collusion?
You know, Lupe Fiasco cannot beat Diego because
there's some collusion, yeah.
Bullshit. It was not. That's not true. It's a setup.
Shenanigans.
Setup.
Yeah, entirely possible. Okay, let's move on. Here's something interesting. So today, Activision and Treyarch released the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 multiplayer starter pack, which does not, in fact, include a case of Mountain Dew and a stupid hat and so on and so forth. It is a starter edition of the game, which is $15, which allows you to play the multiplayer, but it has certain restrictions. Like, you are not able to play Zombies mode, for instance. You are not able to play campaign mode. You are not able to play multiplayer custom games. You're not able to prestige. You have no access to mod tools. You have no access to the unranked server browser. Yeah. So for $15, you get access to the multiplayer, basically, with no prestige and a level cap of 55.
Wow.
And you can upgrade to the full game. So here's the question.
This is hot off the press.
Yeah, this is brand new. So
this is huge news.
Well, you're being sarcastic. I hate you.
No, I'm not. This is sorry for like. To me, caring about video games biz, this is a huge deal.
It actually is to me as well. So I'm going to let you. Why do you think it's a huge deal? Let's see if we match up on this one.
All right, Black Ops 3 in the U.S. is still a best-selling game.
Mm-hmm.
And so, maybe it's already sold the copies they want it to, but then to try to get everyone else in for $15, that's fascinating to me. Basically, that is what most people care about who play that game.
Yes.
And they make it so cheap.
Yeah.
To me, this is like Activision doing a cool thing. That's what's so weird.
I actually agree with that. And they're only having it available until the 18th or something. So, not the 18th, sorry, the 28th. So basically for the next couple of weeks you can get this thing. And I guess they're doing it as an experiment.
Cool.
I have been arguing for ages that we should be able to buy games like Call of Duty in parts, Because I don't care at all about the single player. Can I not have that? Can I just buy the multiplayer? And apparently now, yes, with a bunch of restrictions, but yes. Yes, you can. I think that's good. I've been arguing for this for years. I think that I was making the argument back in the day, and I still do, that the way iOS does the Phoenix Wright games and Ghost Trick is awesome. You get the first two chapters free. Yep.
Yeah.
You can buy the whole thing, or you can buy 2 chapters at a time. So you don't have to, if you feel like, all right, I don't want to finish the game anymore, you don't have to buy the rest of it. I actually think this multiplayer thing is great.
Some would say that it makes more sense for them financially to do it with a game that is entirely story-based. Whereas this
with the
situation
episodic
is different.
part of it? Yeah, the kind of splits? Yes. Yeah, totally.
Because there's more of an inclination for you to eventually buy all of the parts. Whereas in this situation, they're sort of accepting that a lot of people are just never going to buy the rest, right?
Well, I think I think it's actually kind of the opposite. I think that with Call of Duty, they know people are going to buy COD anyway, so why not charge them full price? Why give them the option? Because people are going to give in anyway, Why sell them multiplayer for $40 when you're selling the whole package for $60, So this, to me, is a very interesting move.
$15 is so cheap, too.
Yeah, that's hyper-competitive. It's coming out at a time where Overwatch is really ramping up to be a very dominant multiplayer shooter, most likely. It is kind of a weird time to do it. Because, Battlefront fell flat on its face, and nobody seems to care about that anymore. What major competition does COD have in the multiplayer shooter scene right now? Especially, I guess that this is only on PC, right? This pack isn't available on console, yeah?
This is the first time hearing of this news.
Yeah, it came out. It is literally today, as of like 24 minutes ago. Yeah, it looks like it's only PC.
Wow.
That's got to be on purpose, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be saying, oh shit, this is the price of CSGO.
Yeah, to compete in that space, I guess it has to be 15.
Yeah. We price this the same as CSGO. Rainbow Six Siege is kind of getting some momentum right now, and people are really psyched for Overwatch. Oh, fuck. We have a lot of competition now on PC. And that's not to mention, like, more hardcore games like Insurgency and Armor and Squad. And people still play a shitload of Battlefield 4 on PC. People still play Battlefield 3 on PC, for fuck's sake. PC is an incredibly competitive marketplace for shooters. On console, what are you competing with? Basically Battlefront and... what else? Hardline? Yeah. That's it, right? Hardline and Titanfall, basically. That's it. So this is really interesting to me. I think it's a good move. Jesse, do you disagree? Do you think it's kind of shitty? I mean, I think maybe it's a bit too restrictive, but...
yeah, I mean... I don't know that I have, like, a horse in this race to begin with. So, I don't personally have any issue. So...
okay. Thanks for your contribution.
What's in there?
Water, but I don't know. Like,
okay, right, all right then. I have no reason to talk to you anymore. Cool. And Dodger's already given her opinion. So yeah, I think it's a good move. I want to see more of that. Actually, I'd love to. It's interesting that they're testing the waters. Frankly,
I do think that you're right that this is a good move for them in terms of staying relevant when really competitive games are about to come out.
Yeah. Some people did make some points that isn't Overwatch from the same company. Technically, yes, but Activision Blizzard is really autonomous within the Activision system, so it's a bit yes and a bit no. You know, it's kind of a bit of both there. But outside of that, you know, PC is so competitive and CSGO is so fucking huge that Activision feels like they need a leg up on PC, and this is how they're going to get it. And they're doing it for a limited time because they don't know if it's going to work or not. And that's interesting to me. I wonder, because this only came out really recently, because I'm like, can I look at Steam charts and see if there's been a spike? Let's find out. I don't know if
you would be able to track that yet.
Yeah, I don't, because I assume they're both going to come under Call of Duty Black Ops 3. There's not going to be individual tracking for that starter edition. Let's see. Yeah, there's not enough information yet. It literally came out less than an hour ago, you know? So, we're going to see over the next few days whether it causes a population spike. I mean, I will admit that Black Ops 3 has actually still been doing pretty well on PC. Like, the weekend, it hits 27,000 concurrent players, which puts it in the top 10 on PC. The problem is it's up against CSGO that currently has 451,000 players in the middle of the day. So it's like, fuck, CSGO is just bending you over a barrel and having its way with you, isn't it? Good lord. So you can clearly see why they're a bit panicky. On PC anyway. Cool. I think that's about it for the news. Was there anything anyone else wanted to bring up, either from the list or something else that they'd seen? Or should we go to releases? Kyle, you got anything?
You had a couple of ones that were interesting. Ubisoft admitted they're not making Assassin's Creed this year. That was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Definitely Quantum Break. That is actually pretty crazy that's going to be on PC day and date with Xbox One.
You think that's crazy? Why do you think that's crazy?
That up until this point has been a console exclusive, so it looks like they're finally caving. We saw it a little bit at E3 last year, I think, with like Halo Wars 2. They said, and that's coming to PC as well. Quantum Break's still console exclusive, so to finally like just be open about that, it's a shift. We can Go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
No, you finish. You start.
Bubba, baby. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. I'm convinced it's because they're afraid ain't no one gonna buy this fucking game because it is a full-on mess at this point. From everything I've seen and everything I've played so far, I don't even fucking know where this thing's going. So I'm convinced they're like, let's get it just as many fucking people as we possibly can because we need to make some money on this shit ASAP. I'm convinced of it.
So you think it's individually about Quantum Break, that this won't be a thing that spreads? Because really the question's like, will Halo be Xbox exclusive? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I disagree with Jesse, but continue.
I guarantee they're going to keep Halo exclusive to Xbox, so you'll buy an Xbox. I guarantee it.
All right, so here's counter-argument, and here's kind of where I think maybe they're starting to go, and they're starting to realize which way the wind is blowing. Here's the problem with having a lot of these games, especially shooters, on console only, is that it is a fallacy to believe that because you kept it on console, that a PC gamer would buy a console to play it. Because I ain't playing no fucking shooter with a controller. And a lot of people are like that. And, of course, there's another group of people, like me as well, who are like, I ain't playing no motherfucking 30 FPS game. I would rather not play it than play it at 30. When it comes to action games. Like, strategy, bit of it, you know. If it's a first-person shooter, a third-person shooter, or like a third-person character action game, or a fighting game, or a racing game, basically most genres, if it's a 30, I am playing it. Simple as that. Like, if you're Undertale, you get a pass. Like, it's much harder to notice. But you're not Undertale, you're a fucking AAA, like, third-person shooter that clearly plays worse at 30 than 60. I'm never going to buy your console for this game. It's never going to happen. And I think...
But I feel like in the bubble we live in, that's a thing that we can say. Like, yeah, no, we won't buy it because
yeah, I know that maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't know if most people will. I really don't, and I don't even know if they can afford to.
But wouldn't you say that it would be stupid of them to not try to give some reason to buy a console that they've sunk this much money into?
Right.
It would make no sense for you to say, well, obviously the wind is shifting in the PC direction. They've already made this console system. Like, they're already trying to sell this.
So here's my argument for that. So, did think about this. Here's the thing. I think the majority of the public is never going to buy a fucking gaming PC anyway. One, they're generally more expensive. You know, especially if you buy a pre-made. Yes, you can build a machine that will perform about the same, usually iOS free, but you're going to have to build it yourself, and even though that's not that hard, it scares a shitload of people away. A shitload of people. Most people would rather buy a $400 box that does exactly what it says on the tin, plug it in and go, than worry about PC. You know, because yes, PC breaks. You know, I spent 2 hours this morning redoing my fucking overclock and running memory tests and shit, because my fans were too loud. Because I was like, you know what, I'm running my V-Core too hot. And now people's eyes are glazing over like, what the fuck are you talking about? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what the majority of the public think. So, yes, exclusives, here's the thing. Exclusives bring people in the console war to your side. The PC is Sweden. They're not in the console war. You're not fighting against PC. PC has the fucking weapons of mass destruction. You go to a near PC nukes your country out of existence. Because PCs are better. They're flat out, technically, better. You can't argue with that. Performance is just better. That's just objective fact. So at this point, the people that are buying an Xbox, they're buying it over a PlayStation 4. And as long as Quantum Break isn't on PS4, they still buy the Xbox to play Quantum Break. But on PC... if you're already a PC gamer, the chances are you don't prefer console, you're not going to buy it on console to begin with. So they realize that and say, okay, this is actually, PC is not our competition. Because these people, this group, and yes, they may very well, I accept that I may very well be in a real small bubble, right? I accept that I'm possibly part of a stupid hardcore vocal minority, but I'm still a demographic. I'm a spending demographic. I'm a demographic with a lot of money to throw at these games. And I'm not going to throw it at them if they're not on my platform. So I think they've realized that that group is not their competition because they're never going to buy a console or play it to begin with, so you might as well sell them the game. That's my argument.
But I think that it's silly to assume that there aren't maybe hundreds of people at Microsoft whose job it isn't to try and figure out ways to keep these consoles selling to people who are not the normal demographic of people who will buy the console.
I mean, I totally agree with that, but I think simultaneously there are some demographics that are more vulnerable than others. Like, you know, how well the Wii sold, for instance. Did the Wii sell really, really well to hardcore PC gamers? No. It sold to grandmothers and housewives. You know, it's why Xbox was pushing the TV and sports thing a lot when it first came out, because they wanted to push it to that demo. You know, people that maybe didn't play video games very much, but they're really into live sports and all that kind of thing. It's like, hey, our platform has functionality for that. So they were trying to get them that way. One more point to bring up. Microsoft really wants you to use Windows 10. A lot. They're actually kind of creepy about it.
That is worth bringing up, for sure.
Yeah, and how do you get them to do that? You make Quantum Break a Windows 10 exclusive on your store, which is exactly what they've done. Quantum Break is coming to Windows Store only on Windows 10. So is Fable Legends, so most likely will be Halo Wars 2, so most likely will be Gears of War Ultimate Edition. So they want to move, because when they get you on that platform, and when they start getting you using their store, suddenly Microsoft has solved the problem they've had forever. The PC wasn't making them any money. Now, just like console, they get a piece of the pie on every sale. So, there you go. There's my argument. I hope that's the way they're going. Because, you know, again, I'm not going to fucking play Quantum Break on console at 30 frames. No. I just won't play it. But I'll play it on PC. So give it to me.
Nice, so you're in.
I'm in.
When you heard that news, you're like, yeah, I'm in on Quantum Break now. That's a huge deal for them. They got a sale out of you.
Yep. They did. I mean, isn't it the same as Street Fighter V? You know? Why is Street Fighter V on PlayStation 4 and PC? Because Sony bought it, so Microsoft couldn't fucking have it, but they realized, well, I mean, might as well give it a PC. Sure, why not? You know? These guys probably aren't going to buy a console anyway, so why not? Let's get some money out of the PC dudes, too. I think that's how it is. I might be wrong. That's my theory.
I don't know. I agree with you in this weird way that, like, if you asked there's so many consoles that are sold, right? And if you asked, like, someone who owns a console, like, what 30 frames per second means, there's a lot of people who don't know what that means.
No, they don't.
When you ask somebody who has a PC, like you own, what 30, like, everyone knows what frames per second are. There's no one who has a super nice PC who doesn't know about things like that.
No, because why would you buy it otherwise? Because you buy a super nice PC for performance. That's the sole reason to do it. So, high resolution and performance.
Like, I don't think there is a ton of overlap. I think they are pretty separate markets.
Yeah, I think that. I think that was probably not the case in the past, but I think that now, you know, really, console and PC gaming is so similar, and PC gaming is objectively better in performance, that they realize, well, I mean, we can't compete on that front. So we need to look at other ways. Yes, Jesse?
Okay, so the assumption here is that the company in question, Microsoft, would rather... I don't understand why they wouldn't actively be trying to, like, we're going to make a bunch of awesome games and put them only on Xbox. So, sure, you're a PC user, but guess what? You don't get to play this game unless you have an Xbox. F you.
Yeah, and now I turn around and say, your game runs at 30 FPS, I don't care.
Right, and so if you say that, great. But I imagine there are many people out there who'd be like, okay, well, if I can afford a giant badass PC, I can also afford an Xbox, so I'll go do both.
Yeah, but your game sucks because it's 30 FPS.
But I guarantee people, if it's a popular game, and it's a game that they have an investment in, they aren't going to care too much about that. People seem to overlook shit in games they love all the time.
I understand that, and I know some people did overlook it when it comes to Bloodborne, but I think they believe... Here's the thing, especially if they're selling it through the Windows Store, they're making a lot more money on it, and they're also getting people on the Windows 10 in the process. They believe that the sacrifice is worth it to get a bigger installed user base on Windows 10, get a bigger installed user base on the Windows Store, and directly compete with Steam. Because right now, Microsoft, despite being originally a PC company with an operating system that the vast majority of PC gamers use, has fuck all market share in the gaming platform on PC. And they want that. They think that's a new market, and I think they're right. Because I think PC gaming continues to grow. It's getting bigger every year.
If I'm an executive at the Xbox division, and I see that we're going to go with let's give these games that we're going to be console exclusive to PC users, we aren't trying to pull them from their market. We're giving them things and like giving up our exclusivity to them, that then it's sort of like I'm losing player base that I could grab here. Like people who would have been forced to buy it on Xbox. I mean, it seems like a nice thing to do, but from a business standpoint, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Like, oh yeah, no, we're totally...
Well, here's the thing. You don't make money by selling console hardware to people. Like, they're probably still selling that fucking thing at a loss. Like, You make money by selling multiple games and getting them to sign up for Xbox Live. That's where they make their money.
They have to have an Xbox first,
Here's the thing, like, if you're a PC gamer that only owns an Xbox for, like, 2 fucking games that are exclusive, then actually Microsoft hasn't made much off you at all. You know, and selling the console to them isn't making them any money. They're actually losing money by selling the console to you. If you don't buy multiple games and sub to their stupid fucking $5 a month for multiplayer service, they ain't making shit.
Well, this is why you're not going to ever get Halo on a PC, because they need you to pay for the subscription to their service, and there's no way a PC player's going to be like, in order to play Halo Online, I have to pay $5 more?
Yep. This is where I agree with you. Can you name me the games that are coming to PC from Xbox? Quantum Break. Is that a multiplayer game? No.
Oh, I have no idea what that game is going to be now. It's going to be shit is what it's going to be, but whatever.
No, it is not. They are releasing Fable Legends, which is a bit weird, because that is a multiplayer game. But, Gears of War, primarily single player, does have multiplayer, sure, but also kind of primarily single player. Yeah, they probably will keep Halo away because of how focused it is on the multiplayer, and how willing are people to actually go and play it. Probably the same with Destiny. I don't know, Destiny's weird, because it's multi-platform but not PC for no good reason at all, and I just don't know with that one. I think you're right though. I think they will hold Halo hostage for quite a while. I think they might eventually give in though. And people actually make a fair point. Killer Instinct is coming.
Oh, good one. Yeah, that's so weird.
But was Killer Instinct shifting consoles? I don't know.
That's the thing.
I think it's quite old now.
Halo is shifting consoles. I think they just got through a year where they released Halo 5 and it didn't shift consoles as much as they thought it would. Halo 5 sales were disappointing, and I'm sure that affected them in their boardroom, saying like, we're doing this wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you might be right.
I guess then the flip side, we would have to look at Sony and see what their exclusives are doing for them, and if it's drawing people to Sony consoles, because I don't know if that's true either, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything where I've been like, that's the reason why I need my PlayStation. There's a few games I'm like, that's cool.
Uncharted, Infamous, what else have we had PlayStation 4 exclusive-wise over the last couple of years?
Uncharted isn't out yet.
Digimon Story Cybersleuthe.
I mean, isn't the Uncharted? Yeah, that's what it is. There we go.
That's the one.
Yeah, but isn't the Uncharted collection out already?
It is, that came out.
Yeah, I mean, that might sell some.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm thinking of all the major launches that both consoles had when they launched. I feel like almost all of them were disappointing.
Well, that's a launch lineup, No one's surprised by that. That's always the case. I'm trying to find the list of exclusives. 8th generation. Here we go.
I guess Bloodborne might be.
I think Bloodborne definitely shifted machines.
Kingdom Hearts will definitely ship. Like, a lot of people will get PlayStation 4s for Kingdom Hearts. I know that will happen.
The HD one? Because the Kingdom Hearts 3... 3 is not on the exclusive list.
It isn't?
No. Is Kingdom Hearts 3 an exclusive? I mean, we've got Wikipedia, it's not, but Wikipedia isn't reliable.
I think they're going cross.
Oh, well then fuck it. I don't know, like... Yeah, I think...
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is not an exclusive. As of 2 years ago, they said it wasn't.
Alright, so then there's... I just don't know that PlayStation has the big killer game.
Last Guardian, damn,
Last Guardian's one of those games that if you're in the game industry, like, that's your shit. You can't wait. But the vast majority of people are like, what the fuck is that? So I don't know that it's a big, like, major thing for people.
I'm just looking through the exclusives right now to see what would have shifted machines. I mean, I think Infamous Second Son probably shifted machines. It was the first really good exclusive outside of Resogun, which obviously didn't sell machines. Final Fantasy 14 is on console. Last of Us Remastered would have shifted machines.
I don't know.
Order 1886 if you're a sucker, I guess.
I think Call of Duty shifted more machines than any of those.
That's a very interesting point that nobody brought up, because that's not an exclusive game, but it had an exclusive DLC.
It's so weird.
If you're a COD player, you're playing COD on PS4, right? Most likely.
Though it still sells better on Xbox One, which is crazy. Still, which is...
I wonder if that's a demographic thing. Yeah. Because, I mean, the guys that have Xboxes have been used to getting all the COD stuff first for years, so maybe that's why they bought an Xbox One, assuming that would still be the case. But yeah, you bring up a very good point. It's weird. The console market's in a really weird spot right now. Like, it seems like it's besieged from almost all sides, you know? Phones are getting better, tablets are getting better. Streaming gaming is, well, what is cloud gaming? Apparently, fuck all. But PC gaming is doing really, really well. So I have a feeling that there's something going on with that. We'll see how it goes in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
they are still shifting machines. Yeah, they are still shifting machines. Yes, Dodger.
My Skype just froze.
Okay,
so
we can see you just fine.
You're fine.
That's great. I will not be able to read the releases.
All right, I can handle it. Don't worry.
It's stable right now, but...
Wow, Kyle's camera just came back.
And I'm back.
Hi, Kyle.
Great.
It's weird. We've got 2 minutes of you in the last 3 hours. It's so strange. I don't know what the fuck's going on today on Skype. It's going really weird. Okay. Let's do release. Okay, Jesse, would you mind reading the releases? And I guess me and Dodger can look them up on Steam and read them.
I am on Google duty. I'm so
Indeed,
ready.
you're on Google duty today. All right. Jesse?
On February 16th, we have Flip.
Flip.
That's today.
That is today. Well done.
Flip.
It's a puzzle game for your eyes and your brain, apparently. It involves, unsurprisingly, flipping things. Next.
Next up is Dub Dash.
Dub Dash. Dub Dash.
It's an Android game, it looks like. Oh,
it's
Android
on
and
Steam, too.
iOS. A fast-paced action game based on great music.
Yep, rhythm-based action game. Indeed.
Wubwash.
Wub Dash.
Yep.
Also, Street Fighter V is out today, if you didn't know.
Street Fighter V entered early access today, which is really exciting. So if you want to buy the alpha, you can do that right now for $60. Get it? The Street Fighter alpha? Hey! No? No. Oh.
The next game out today is the prequel to the Cat Lady, Downfall. If that's your jam, if creepy-ass weird shit is your jam, Downfall. Look it up.
Interesting.
It is weird as balls. I've yet to play it, but I think it might happen. So
I think it's like black and white, yeah?
Yeah.
And red all over at times.
Yeah.
If you haven't played the Cat Lady, take I don't know, 3 hours out of your life and go be completely fucking weirded out. And yeah. Next up, Gurgamoth.
Yes, I believe, Dodger, you were talking about Gurgamoth.
Yeah, that's the one where it's like a static area with spikes, and you have 4 little dudes that all float, and you're dashing into each other, trying to sacrifice yourself to raise Gurgamoth.
And this will sell all of 7 copies on PC because it is a local multiplayer-only game. Well done, guys. No one's gonna buy it. Next.
It sounds like a good stream game, though. Good for streams.
Only if you've got people to play it with. It's literally local-only multiplayer, so you need someone in the same room as you.
Fill up the couch. Let's do it.
If you can fill up the couch in front of your PC, go for it. If you can do that, awesome. I don't think it's going to sell very well, though. Next
up, February 17th. That's tomorrow.
It is.
Trinium Wars.
Trinium Wars. Early access game, post-apocalyptic survival, MMORPG. That looks Korean as fuck, is it?
It does.
Hanmurusoft called it. All right.
I want them to add.
You can play a
TotalBiscuit.
tank?
Looks Korean as
There's
fuck.
a tank in it.
You can be a literal tank.
A literal tank. This actually has some really weird elements. Like it's got a base building component or something. Huh.
It's Korean as fuck.
But it's still Korean as fuck. But I'm intrigued. Next.
All right, Californium is next.
That is a element, but it's also a game.
A game about many surrealities
It's a
of Philip
first-person-
K. Dick.
It's a first-person exploration game, so it's a walking simulator by the looks of it.
You're a writer whose life is falling apart.
That website about dicks is starting to look better and better now, isn't it? Just saying.
Next.
Ego Protocol is our last game for the 17th.
That's what I engage every time I play multiplayer Overwatch with you guys.
Hey-o.
An action puzzle platform game.
Apparently it will addict you from the first playthrough. We'll see about that.
It sounds serious.
Yeah, don't make claims about that. I don't believe you. All right.
On February 17th, 18th.
18th.
Whoops, that's 2 days from now.
Indeed.
in case you weren't aware.
Mm-hmm.
Red Comrades Save the Galaxy Reloaded.
Vasily Ivanovich Kapyav and his fellow aide Petka realize that someone has stolen the red banner from the HQ. Although it's not the end of the story yet. Somewhere on the moon, legions of alien invaders prepare to conquer Earth. It appears to be a 1998 point-and-click game about Russia for some reason.
Awesome.
And awesome. Aliens. All right, next.
I like how the aliens are on America's side. Think about it.
Of course.
All right. Brushwood Buddies is up next.
That sounds jolly.
I was assuming Duga would have got that one. Are we alternating, Duga? This one yours?
What?
Brushwood Buddies. Because I got super flippin' phones, and that shit is weird.
Oh, goodness. Looks like your little trees. Brushwood Buddies. It's a crafting puzzle game about a bunch of creatures combining items to advance in their adventure together. Players faced with a board of themed tiles, which hold up to one item and then generate
Kyle's
new
gone
ones.
again.
Oh my god.
Re-engage the static image.
It was the Brushwood Buddies. It killed
That
my
just did it
connection.
in. Yeah. He only gets 3 minutes of Skype at a time.
I never want to be a tree in a game.
Yeah, I've never felt the desire.
Well, it says it's a relaxing yet challenging game. So maybe, if you're looking for a game where you don't got to take it too serial, you would want to be a tree.
Sure.
Next
is the wonderful Super Flippin' Phones.
In Super Flippin' Phones, you flip phones out of people's hands to warn them about an impending disaster. Unfortunately, no one in the mall is listening to you because they're too busy liking their crops and swiping left, whatever that means. Run through the mall, evade cops, and save humanity by flipping their phones out of their hands. You can also collect stylish wrestling shoes, and you are mostly naked man.
Great.
It looks great.
Warn people about Kevin Spacey in Call of Duty. Shove them in a box. This is the best fucking trailer for a video game I've ever seen in my fucking life. Holy shit. I've got to put this on the screen. Please have a YouTube version of this. This is fucking bonkers.
That's great.
Alright, I think this is it. Here we go. Behold! This mostly naked man! And his desire to flip phones out of people's hands.
You know what I don't like about that description? They know exactly what it means to swipe left.
They do.
They're trying to be a little cool. They're like a little we're counterculture.
We're too cool for school.
Yeah.
Now he's wearing a luchador outfit. This game is fucking stupid. It's $3. This is beauty bait. I'm gonna be honest. For the most part, is it.
I'll play it.
Yeah, of course you will.
Looks great.
This is a YouTuber game. Kind of like a shower with your dad simulator. But I just love all the scenarios, warn people about Kevin Spacey, put people in boxes. This is fucking silly. Oh my. Well, it got the exposure you wanted, so there you go.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a great trailer. Make more trailers like that. Next.
All right. Next up, we have the Soulless Project.
The Soulless Project?
It's Solus. S-O-L-U-S, I believe.
Soulless.
I keep forgetting you can't see the list, which is not helpful.
I can't.
No.
A single-player exploration and survival experience.
Yay.
First person and developed in Unreal Engine 4.
Ooh. Sci-fi, I assume.
Yeah, sci-fi survival game.
Okay. Fair enough. Next,
we have Devil Daggers.
Ooh, stabby. Devil Daggers is a fast-paced shooter. Ooh, that's unusual. Weirdly enough. It places you in this looks awful. It places you in an abyssal arena to face endless legions of demons armed with versatile magic, daggers, and a fluid movement system. Survive as long as you can. So it literally seems to just be kind of like just an arena shooter inspired by 90s FPS.
But it's only fighting off waves.
Far as I can tell, yeah, it's not like proper levels, which kind of sucks because really I'm not interested in sitting in the middle of a circle shooting things.
Yeah, me neither.
Next,
Hero and Daughter Plus.
That sounds dodgy as fuck. I'm gonna call visual novel.
Hero and Daughter. Hack and slash RPG.
Ah.
Whoa.
People keep making jokes about assets, so I'm going to assume there's lots of boobs.
Nope.
if you look at images, you just get Cafe Press stuff, so that's not helping.
Well, I mean, if you just go on Steam and search a Hero and Daughter Plus, you see it's an RPG Maker game with anime stuff in it.
All right, well,
And yes,
there you go.
it does have boobs. Yep, definite boobs in this game. All right, next.
I'm going to try and pronounce this game as I imagine it should be.
Okay.
Vanderjar? I imagine that's what that is.
It's a JRPG with real-time combat and intriguing story. This looks like a mobile game.
Dodger as fuck, is what it looks like.
Yay!
Looks like it was developed in Japan based on the game box.
Vanderjar.
Next.
Vanderjar. Astro Duel.
Astro Duel. A competitive local multiplayer party game. Rounds are quick and death is sudden. Blast your friends using asteroid-style ships.
Space combat.
Yeah. I mean, it quite literally looks like it was made in the 1980s for Atari. Because that's the kind of game I want to buy in 2016. Next.
Next.
On February 19th, No Pineapple Left Behind.
You have to run a school full of children. Children have a lot of wants, needs, and feelings. That's a problem, because if you don't pay attention to the class and get low grades, your school loses money. However, you can turn children into pineapples.
Oh,
yeah, this game has a message, I think. I think this one is actually like some subversive message, yeah.
I shit ye not. Yeah, it is actually a satire. Learn about the shortcomings of modern education in this satirical game about turning children into pineapples.
I love it. I love it.
That's kind of neat. Like, yeah. I don't mind games with a message as long as they have interesting gameplay to back it up. The problem that I have with games with a message like fucking Sunset, which is literally a house cleaning simulator, is they're boring as shit. If this game is actually interesting, I'll take your message about modern educational failures. Absolutely. Next. Mazement.
I bet it's a maze game.
I think it's a physics-based ball-rolling third-person platformer with mazes in it. Yep. Next.
Great.
You said it exactly like the title screen would. Like, you start up the game, and it's Mazement.
Mazement.
Yeah, where they're like, they feel like they're trying to be confident, but they're slightly uncommitted. It's like, Mazement. Yes, we are a video game. Thank you.
The next game
we will deliver to you.
Devil Ceiling Stone.
So is that a stone for the devil that's stuck in the ceiling, or is it a stone for sealing the devil away? Who knows? Or is it actually just a decorative ornament?
Yeah.
It's a ceiling stone. It's it's an alternative to a light source. It's eco-friendly.
There it is.
I'll turn on my ceiling
puzzle
stone.
Game with a magical style.
Woo! Mm-hmm. What is the style?
In an underground city full of bizarre and magical atmosphere, adventurers can explore the ancient, mysterious epic. This looks fucking weird, guys.
It's probably got random enemies, random stratagems, and
looks like an RPG Maker game. Lots of text happening on the screen. I don't know.
Yeah, but it looks like more like a roguelite as opposed to it definitely looks like an RPG Maker game, but it doesn't look like it's actually an RPG.
It also looks like a bullet hell, maybe? Like it has.
Yeah, apparently they changed they've got attack patterns and shit that you have to avoid. Whoa. All right, next.
Next up is a game that may have the most honest description I've ever seen. No one left.
No one left.
No one left.
Yep.
Just read that description. It's the most honest thing I've ever seen.
Let's try reading this description. No One Left is a one-man project and it's been in development for a couple of months. Great. Then I'm not going to buy it.
No. Do you see at the top? It's great. It says, before purchasing, please note this game is incomplete and it is currently in early alpha phase. Some things may not work properly or the way you might expect them to.
You developed it for 2 months on your own. There's no way this is a game yet. Come on, really?
That is an amazing.
I know what to expect from early access, but there's a huge difference in something like fucking Darkest Dungeon and this, you know?
That is the most honest. Like, look, it's not.
At least he's honest about it, you know?
Yeah, it's just not.
I'll give him credit for that. You know, come back to me in a year when your game's actually in a better state. All right, next.
Next up is Just Death.
Oh, but what's the game?
An open world sandbox
crime game. Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
So it looks like a VR game?
No. Nah.
No.
Based on these first screenshots.
I think you're looking at the wrong thing. Because this is a third-person shooter. This looks more like APB or Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah. What the hell is this game?
Okay.
If you're not using the anything that's not tagged as console, by the way, is a Steam game. So if you just search via Steam, you'll always find the right thing. In theory, anyway. Next is the Renegades of Orion.
Yep, this is the one. This is the one, guys.
It's got nothing to do with Master of Orion, though, right?
Nope, because it's amazing.
This was the one we looked at with the weird graphic style, right?
Yes.
The art style is fucking strange. I don't know what the hell is going on with this.
Oops.
And we because we saw this last week and we couldn't figure out what it was. Like, the description doesn't tell us anything about what the game actually is.
Yep.
It's going to be $2, though. So
That's
I'm
not
just going to
bad.
buy it because it's $2. I don't care what it is. It's $2. Let's just try it. Let's give it a shot. All right. Yes, next.
On the 20th, we have Pixel Puzzle Space.
Oh.
Pixel Puzzles 2 Space.
Apparently, there are a bunch of Pixel Puzzles games. There's Pixel Puzzles Anime, Pixel Puzzles Birds, and Pixel Puzzles Space.
This is literally just a jigsaw puzzle.
It's literally a jigsaw puzzle. Next.
Unending Galaxy.
I bet it has an end. I bet they're lying. It is a unique space
Top-down
sim.
2D sandbox simulation and strategy game based in space.
According to this, unique space sim in which you can fill any role from pirate or trader at the leader of a large galactic empire. That's actually not unique, but it sort of looks pretty cool anyway. All right. Next.
Next one. Nico Para Volume 2. The boobies. The Anaboobs.
Basically porn.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Next.
Hell
Visual
yes.
novel. Can't play that on actually, can you play Nicopara on Twitch these days? I can't remember.
Can't play Necopara, I don't
No, I don't think you can.
Oh, in this screenshot, she's eating what appears to be a donut. A long donut.
Uh-huh. All right. 22nd. That's last but by no means least, isn't it? Yep. 22nd. Here we go.
Talisman, the Horus Heresy.
Yep. It's a Warhammer 40,000 version of Talisman. I actually have code for this. They've made some changes to it.
Shit.
You don't know anything about 40K. It's not going to be any fun with you guys.
It's Talisman, though. I don't
Oh
want to
God,
see
no. Okay, fine. We'll do a fucking co-optional lounge of Talisman Horus Heresy.
Yay!
It's gonna be awful, and you know it. Next.
It'll be amazing.
Next.
All right, the ship remastered. Yay!
yay,
I heard it's
the
been
ship.
delayed a week.
Yay! The ship! Yay! Delayed! Yay!
Ooh.
Although that might be the delay, because wasn't it supposed to come out this week? Yeah, it was supposed to come out this week, so that is the official date now, February 22nd. But that is early access, just bear that in mind.
What
Don't know
is
how to-
the ship?
Oh my God, it's so cool. All right, so you're on the ship. You are a guest on a unique cruise ship in the 1900s.
Okay.
The person that owns the cruise ship, the mysterious Mr. X, wants you to kill another guest. So you are given a target. You ever played Assassin's Creed multiplayer?
Never, no.
Okay, that's going to make it really hard to explain that. Yeah, so you are given a target. You've got to go... The target doesn't know that you're tracking them. There are also NPCs on the level that look like people to confuse you. You have to track down your target and out of sight of the guards and security cameras, fucking murder them with a frying pan or some shit.
Cool.
And, yeah, but you also have to tend to your needs. So as a cruise guest, you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to go to the toilet, and you need to socialize, and all of those things put you out in the open and make you vulnerable. So it
you
is
also need to make it look like you're an NPC too. Sometimes.
Yeah, you need to act like an NPC, so people don't know you're a real
Party.
person.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's because a spy party probably took the ship was like the originator of this, I think, because Assassin's Creed stole most of its multiplayer from the ship. I'm pretty sure Spy Party was inspired by the ship. The ship is fucking brilliant, especially with friends that play it right. It's really fun, so I'm looking forward to the remaster of it because that game did not do well and it deserved to.
I have one last question. Does Mr. X ever bring anything to you?
I believe he delivers to you between the hours of 9 to 5, although there. Additionally, you can receive room service for a $4 surcharge. 18% gratuity. Thank you, Kyle. You've made my night.
Hello. Max is here. Hello. I brought you a weapon to use.
I brought you a frying pan. X demands that you sign for it.
I need a signature, sir.
X will have to take it back to the delivery distribution point.
We're out at sea, sir. It's going to be a while.
We can't do it. There's a boat. Why am I even here?
Next.
Yep. And
Next.
that is it. Then we hit next Tuesday on the 23rd. So that's it.
Cool.
We're done.
Sick.
That's
done.
a lot of
guys.
goodies.
X gonna give it to you. Yeah.
That list is surprisingly much shorter than it normally is.
And that missed out Fire Emblem Fates, by the way, which I'm pretty sure is out Friday.
Isn't on there.
So.
Yeah, I think that's the 19th.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Project Cross Zone is out today, and I'm charging my 3DS right now. Looking forward to it.
Project X.
Yep. The eShop will
done?
deliver it to me because I didn't order it on Amazon.
We're done. We did it.
Because then they could have
we
delivered
did
it to me. All right, this joke has been run at the ground, just like Kyle Bosman's webcam and Skype.
Yep.
Oh my god! All right, well, we finally reached the end of the show somehow. I would love to know though, Kyle, what the fuck are you gonna do now? What's coming?
I don't know. You know what? I'm enjoying my time off for a little while.
Okay.
I do not. This is the most exciting part of my life. Basically, is not knowing what I'm going to do next.
I mean, that terrifies most people, but okay.
Said like a man who truly doesn't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do. I feel like I got a lot of opportunities in front of me, and so I want to explore everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to see.
Yeah, totally. Makes sense.
I actually just turned 30, which was already weird, and so this on top of that is like, where am I going, dude? What am I going to do?
Are you finding yourself right now? Is this one of those moments where you're like,
you're going on a tour of the Middle East, which India is debatably in, according to some people on the internet.
Yeah,
Chat. The Middle East is not defined well. Sorry, I've got a bit of a bugbear about that. Anyway. Sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
I absolutely think India counts. No, I mean, that's it. Yeah, Jesse's right. Like, I am finding myself or whatever. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird to decide what you want to do with your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of heavy. And so a lot of people are just like, dudes, just Patreon. And like, they make it sound so simple, but it's, I don't know. There's a lot involved.
Just Patreon.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It's a lot to look into.
Yep. But Patreon and the Jim Sterling model, I guess, is probably a good way to go.
Yeah.
Seems
he
to
does
be the way.
right? Who knows?
Well, actually, you do know, because you go on his Patreon page, you literally see how much money he makes. Then you might decide to go down his route. He's doing pretty
scary?
well.
Yeah, like it's out there. We all know how much money we're giving him.
Yeah, I very much like my viewers not to know that. That's that's a benefit of not doing that. But yeah, because he gets a lot of people that come down and say, "You made this, and you haven't done this thing that I want you to do. Fuck you." Blah blah blah. You know.
That terrifies me. Oh god, that makes me so scared.
It's pretty terrifying, isn't it? Yeah. But it is definitely a very good way. It's a very, very good way to supplement the otherwise terrible ad revenue that you get on YouTube. So,
sure, yeah,
works pretty well. Cool. Well, we will definitely keep track of what you're doing, and obviously, when you've decided, let us know, and we'll let everybody know where to go to find your shit. Because right now, they've got to follow you on Twitter. That's the only place you are. At Kyle Bosman on Twitter.
At Kyle Bosman, yeah, exactly.
Yep. Follow him on Twitter to find out what he is doing next. And, of course, go and watch his final Bosman on the Game Trailers channel, I suppose.
Don't do that. No, because I don't make... No, don't.
Okay, he doesn't make any money from that. Don't watch it. It's shit. Don't watch it. It's fucking terrible. Absolutely awful. Don't even think about it. Do you own the IP for that?
That is actually a thing I'm trying to deal with right now.
Right.
I don't at the moment, which is freaky. Yeah.
Right. So you want you want the IP to your brand. Yeah. That's It sucks if they don't give it to you. I mean,
they gave it to Jim. They let Jim Sterling keep Jimquisition, so it's likely I can work it out. But it's a process.
Hopefully. Yeah, especially with the site shut down, there's literally no reason for them to hang on to that IP at all. None. And if they do it, I'll call them a piece of shit on Twitter. Yay! Start a fight. Cool. Start a fight. Fuck you, Defy. Yeah.
Oh, but actually, thank you for having me on. I actually really appreciate that you reached out and had me despite everything that was happening last week. And so that was really super nice of you. I appreciate that.
I mean, maybe it's because of the things that happened last week. But one way or the other, I believe next week we're actually having one of your colleagues on, actually.
Yes. Are we allowed to say?
Mr. Brandon Jones will be attending next week. You know, one of the big head honchos over at the now unfortunately defunct Game Trailers. He's going to be on next week to talk about what he's going to be doing. Hopefully he's figured it out by then. Well, I guess we'll find out. But one way or the other,
I always liked you more.
His camera came back at the last moment. Yay, there we go.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Yeah, one of the first things he's going to do with his Patreon money is buy a real webcam.
Yep. Get a rig.
Yep, absolutely. Because right now you look like one of the aliens from 1990s X-Files.
That's not too bad.
This is a brand new concept in podcasting. It's found footage podcasting.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, cool. Yeah, I thank you for coming on, Kyle. And again, commiserations on that site going down. That sucks. We actually did like the stuff that was on there, so it sucks that site is gone now. Hopefully, you will land on your feet, and we will certainly try and help you out if that's at all possible. We'd love to work with you again because you're awesome.
Cool. Thank you. I truly appreciate that.
It's all good. Jesse, what's coming up your channel this week? What's going on?
Yo, more Firewatch and more fun. And this weekend on the 20th...
I can't wait for you to finish that. If it turns into an epic rant on a show, I'm going to be so entertained. But okay.
Maybe I will love it instead. And be
maybe
like,
you will.
That was a fun experience. This weekend on the 20th is an all-day live stream through the magic that is YouTube. We are doing myself, Gerard, and Alex, and a bunch of our wonderful friends, PBG, Pro Jared, all sorts of people are coming to this thing. It is a live stream for charity. It's an indie live stream, and so we're going to have Johnny Blow's going to be there. We're going to have, so much crazy shit going on. And here's the best part. It's just us. We convinced them. Guys, there are 3 streams going on. Our stream, we convinced them to let us do a luau/barbecue live stream. So we're going to get shit-faced and play indie games, and it's going to be great. And it's all for charity. So it'll be on YouTube, and it'll probably be all over the front page and shit because it's at the YouTube space. So that's the thing that's happening. So tune in.
Is Johnny Blow Jonathan Blow?
Yes, Jonathan Blow will be there.
That's huge, dude. That's a good get. That's awesome.
Yep. He's going to be there. A bunch of other indie games. We're going to have all of the guys from Shovel Knight there, and they're going to...
Yacht Club games. They're awesome.
Yeah. Oh, my God. We have so many people coming to this. It's going to be crazy huge. And the requirement that we told everyone is before they can even enter the set, they must put on a cheesy Hawaiian shirt. So we're going to have a bunch of Hawaiian shirts there. Oh, yeah. Alcohol and food and crazy shit. It's this Saturday, literally all day.
Very cool.
So it'll be all over YouTube. So come watch that.
Nice. Dojo, what's coming up?
Same old. On Wednesday, starting at 6 p.m. PST, if you want to watch Dark Soulmates, which is going to be Sam and I playing through all of Dark Souls 1, maybe in one go, which is going to be a shit show. We would love it if you would come and hang out for that on twitch.tv/dexterity_bonus and twitch.tv/strippin. And other than that, I'm going to be streaming directly after this. I'm a little bit late for it. But,
oops, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. Doing
we did start late, unfortunately.
With my cousin, so there's that. And other than that, normal shebangs. Come hang out for visual novels and dumb shit. You're welcome, world.
Not much left this week, other than obviously the podcast upload going up. I did just finish my port report on Street Fighter V. I'm actually going to encode it right after the show, so it should go out today. But chemo tomorrow, so I'm out of action for a few days, and then we will be back. Hopefully with Secret Hitler Sundays on Sunday. Hopefully these slackers are actually in for it this time. Yes?
Yeah,
no? Maybe? Are you there? Yes?
What is Secret Hitler Sundays, though? You got to pitch that. What is that?
I mean, we could invite you. You could come play with us.
To the audience. I
don't need to pitch it to the audience. They already know.
They all know what Secret Hitler Sunday is.
They know exactly what it is.
Okay.
They know exactly what it is.
We don't even need to explain that shit.
No, they definitely know that. It's wonderful. It is a card game called Secret Hitler. We all get together, play Tabletop Simulator with Secret Hitler, and argue with each other on Sundays on Twitch. And we do it for 4 hours, and it's great. So we can maybe bring you along if you would like to get involved.
Sure.
Yeah, because thankfully you don't need a webcam for that, so you'll be fine.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so that's going to happen, and we've now scheduled a co-optional lounge for fucking Talisman Horus Heresy. I actually do have 4 copies of that, because I'm pretty sure they wanted me to do a lounge, so I'll give you copies. I don't know when we're going to do it, but we'll try and shoot for sometime next week. I'll keep you up to date. Maybe like a Friday night or something. Well, we'll see what we can find out. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening. Of course, you can follow us on YouTube below. That's where the name is. Kyle obviously does not have a YouTube channel right now, so follow him on Twitter, and you can find out where he's going to go. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Big thanks to our guest, Kyle Bosman, today for the show. Next week, we will be enjoying the company of Brandon Jones, also from GameTrailers.com. That broke. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good. Just X did not deliver us the camera at this point. No.